the professor, the reason for development of this serious obsessive compulsive disorder was that he was taking serious germs in a small glass pot that people, scientists use to carry germs. And he was so tired, it was the evening, he has been working all day. So he wanted to go home. So he took the specimen together with his briefcase, together with a microscope, and went to open the door, but the specimen was spilled on his chair in the car, and he panicked. But thereafter, he developed a terrible OCD of washing hands, of fear of contamination. And his hands were sore. I do remember the case very well. The man was, of course, an Englishman. His body is very wide, and his hands already were red, and they were developing sores from excessive washing. He used to wash not less than 100 or 200 times a day. So this, we know at times when it is traumatic, or when it is continues for a long time, the stress, it will eventually develop a psychological disorder. But now, for example, a case of a person who have suddenly had the trauma of being told that he has a heart problem, and it is dangerous. After that, he's going to develop what we call hypochondriacal disorder. Every time anything that can happen, he has eaten too much and he has gas, which pressures in his lungs and heart. And then he feels there are some palpitations. Khalas, I'm going to die, I'm going to die. Then it begins like fear of death and the phobia of death. This is, we know this quite well. It happens in each and every case. Now, how does coronavirus develop into psychological disorder? The clearest form is this OCD, obsessive compulsive disorder. And in this one, we can see that we are told, wash your hands quite a lot, you know. We wash our hands, we wash our hands. Then we are told, don't touch your face, don't touch your face. Don't touch the doorknob until it is clear. Don't do this. Coronavirus can be living on dry, solid surfaces. Now, it is as if we are students sitting there and being instructed as how to develop an obsessive compulsive disorder of fear of contamination. Fear of contamination, fear of germs is often develops into an OCD, into an obsessive compulsive disorder. But at times, fear of germs and of contamination can be a problem by itself. It need not develop into an OCD. What are the other problems that happen here? Another one is social phobia. Keep a distance between you and other people. At least, what do they say? A meter, 2 meters. Don't shake hands. Don't embrace. Don't touch. So indeed, we are trained to develop a form of social phobia, even relationship with people. We cannot, after it is coronavirus disappears, and I hope it will soon, we will, our old friends want to come. Salamu alaikum, they want to shake our hands. We are afraid to shake their hands. This is a serious thing which can develop. We become afraid of social relationship with other people. And this is particularly so, it's difficult with cultures where, for example, in England, where people are really rather, they don't all the time shake hands, hello, hello, that's enough. But in some cultures, like my own culture, people are very warm. In Sudan, they are very warm. They hug each other when they meet, and they particularly now, this has become even more serious. People hug, even they hug between men and women. Even now, if I go to Sudan, I expect, when I was still young, whenever I wanted to travel to Beirut for my study, my aunts come and hug me, other people hug, and they weep. People are very warm with each other. Today in Sudan, the economic problem could have become worse had it not been for this positive aspect of the social aspect. People who travel outside and get high salaries, their salary is not theirs alone. They must send to their parents, they must send to their friends, their neighbors, and people expect help from them. And they are very generous in sending money. Billions of dollars are sent, and this is one of the main reasons how the country is surviving. Now, what will happen now when people begin to close themselves up? Maybe some of our people, particularly those who are Wahhabis, they will say, Alhamdulillah, these people have been hugging and doing the things that are not Islamic. Now let them have some adab and follow the Islamic way. Maybe some would say so, but actually people are social relations are so important to them. Without it, people will become psychologically sick, because this social relationship is supporting psychologically to people. So here we are. Another one is agoraphobia. Agoraphobia is fear, as it is defined, is fear of open spaces. But in actual fact, it is now used more commonly as fear of leaving the house and going out. People can become like this. Now we are told to stay at home, stay at home. This staying at home can become a habit, and people will be afraid to go out far away from home. And some people might become real agoraphobics. I think I myself, I'm beginning to feel this. I'm told you in our university here in Istanbul, it is locked up, the university. Nobody from outside can come into the university. And we are not to go out. Particularly, they say people who are over 65 should not leave the house, should not leave the flat. And we are living inside the university. So now, for weeks, I am being imprisoned in my flat. And I enjoy it. I'm now learning to stay home. Alhamdulillah, during this time, I was able to finish a book that I have been writing now for years. I have been, I got used to staying home, more contemplation, better ibadah. But now I even do my exercise by walking in the corridor. Now people come and tell me, if it's okay, the weather, walk out a little bit. I do not feel the need to leave the house. Now, this is natural, and this is me. What will happen to some other people? Some people who are prone, who are already emotionally disturbed, when it comes to this, they may develop this agoraphobia, and it can become a difficulty. So now I'm trying to pinpoint points. Don't want to follow the same approach that I did in my first lecture. I want to go into the actual, another thing that can happen is that there can be some anti-ethnic feelings to some groups in some Muslim societies and in non-Muslim societies. We know now that the Indians have been told that coronavirus was brought by the Muslims, and there was this increased the ethnic violence against the Muslims. It's really a terrible thing that happened. Really, those who have brought this kind of rumor and who have supported it, it's in the wrong time, and it is very damaging to the Muslim society in India. May Allah save them from these people, these criminals. Now, this can happen also in other countries. For example, now most of the people who die from coronavirus in the United States are blacks, are the black people. In one case, I read in one case, 2/3 of those who died were black Americans. Now, it can be an exaggeration, but then after virus is finished, this can increase the ethnic violence. People will think that every black American is a carrier of the virus, or carrier of other viruses, even if. So indeed, we are faced with a disorder, a general disorder. I'm using the term chronophobia, and this chronophobia is a term which I invented. Maybe it will become public, and it is more like a syndrome in which a number of psychological disorders come together. That is why I call it so. Now, what can we do? What is the role of our of Muslim psychologists? Now, when the number is so vast that will come, what can we do? Are we going to use psychodynamic therapy? It is useless. Like Freudian psychoanalysis, and this is nonsense. It is not useful. There are evidences that Freud himself was actually addicted to cocaine, and a number of his theories about in which he stressed the sexual instinct, he did it, he wrote it when he was under the influence of cocaine. He had the cancer of the mouth or the nose, and he used to take cocaine to relieve the pain. And then he became addicted to it. And actually, he was not in his right mind. And unfortunately, many of our universities in the Muslim world and in the third world in general, come and take these theories and teach it to students as if it is science. In the Muslim world, in some countries in Southeast Asia, and particularly in the Arab world, particularly in Algeria and Morocco, the influence of the French, it is still there, and it is useless. Now, and also it is a treatment of one-to-one. We don't have time for it, and it is not really useful. What is the best treatment today for such as phobic disorders and obsessional disorders? What is it? It is what is known as cognitive behavior therapy, CBT. And this depends on two things. Behavior therapy, you only want to associate two things together again and again. You remember the issue of Pavlov, who came up with this. His dogs salivate when they smell food, then they, of course, this is unconditioned. Any dog in the world, hungry dog, will salivate if you put a few drops of meat in his tongue. But if, as Pavlov did, he rings the bell just before the food, before giving the food. When this is repeated, the bell by itself is enough to salivate. The very same thing is used in the treatment of phobic disorders. Just as, for example, a person who has a phobia of high places, acrophobia, we do the very same thing. But instead of food as a reinforcer, we use relaxation, we use hypnosis, we use abdominal breathing through the tummy rather than chest breathing. Upper chest will actually increase your anxiety. But breathing deeply by inflating your tummy and bringing it back when you exhale is something very useful indeed for psychologically sick people and for normal people. This is a positive, it is a relaxing approach. It is a parasympathetic approach. But then with it, you associate it with the thing which you want to get rid of. When the association takes place, you will get over it. Now, this is the core of behavior therapy. Maybe I can give you a simple example of a patient whom I have treated because of fear of closed places. It is called claustrophobia. She came to me at home when I was in Sudan, and her parent who came with her, he said, this girl now is already engaged to a husband who is living in Saudi Arabia. And she's a bride now, and she wants to travel, but she is afraid she cannot travel. The problem is that whenever she is in a small place, the smaller the place, the more fear she will develop from closed places. Now here we are using a gradual approach. I relax her, I make her feel happy and relaxed, but then I ask her to imagine yourself in a very large room, in a very large auditorium. Are you afraid? No. again, then I bring the thing in imagination, every time smaller, 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 to make an association between uh, closed places and relaxation. And then I actually take her to rooms, a large room, and I give her support, then a smaller room. I will only tell you what was the last item in the hierarchy. Wallahi, this, I cannot forget her because she was a good patient. The last item was for me to make her stand inside my cupboard, the cupboard in which I hang my suits. So she gets in there, because I take my suits out and get in the cupboard. She gets into the cupboard, then I will tell her I will close the cupboard for only a few seconds. She's there, she tolerates a few seconds, then more seconds, then minutes, gradually, until she was able to stay there for a long time without having the fear. She said, now I am all right. Just imagine before that, when she was in a bus traveling, she got into the bus, and the Sudan brought new buses that has its automatic doors closed. When they closed the door, she almost fainted. She ran to the driver, strangled him, and started to shout, bring me down, bring me down. He had to stop the bus, and she ran out because the bus is closed. Now, if she goes into the airplane, she cannot tell the pilot that I want to open the door because I am the window, because I am afraid. It's no way. And the airplane is very, so anyway, this girl was able to travel to her husband. Alhamdulillah, it was a good thing. Now, this case shows how we are using only behavior therapy. But cognitive therapy is to change your thinking, your beliefs. Isn't it silly of you to think that a closed place will be dangerous for you? This is irrational. Then you concentrate on changing the kind of thought the person has. And it is here that Islamic psychotherapy is best for many patients. It is here that instead of a person who comes to me because of fear of death, a severe fear of phobia of death, and then I cannot avoid but to talk about what is death Islamically. Is death the end of life or the beginning of another life? I can talk about the Prophet ﷺ when he was ill and when he was dying. When people are spiritually, then their problems look small and they disappear. Again and again, I have tried this, and cases in which I was working in a hospital, the psychiatrists who are medical people essentially learn to send the cases which they fail to treat to me. And then they wonder what is happening. How come you treated them? This new witchcraft that you came with by training in behavior therapy, and they don't know. It is not the witchcraft by itself. It is the spiritual dimension which they fail to give to their patients. So now we need really to train a new group of therapists to face this dilemma. And these new therapists, we cannot depend on those only who got their PhD in clinical psychology, or no. I think anybody with the first degree in psychology can easily be treated in cognitive behavior therapy. Here, we need not to train them to treat people one by one, but to treat them in group. We'll have to invent, we have to develop a new kind of therapy, which will be directed to the group. Now, of course, there is group therapy, but now we want spiritually motivated group therapy. And I think in this manner, I remember in the 70s, I was in Ethiopia working with UNESCO. And they wanted to make something very quickly to train teachers to be able to very quickly disseminate the new kinds of teaching methods and psychological methods in teaching. They wanted to do it fast. What did they do? UNESCO came with a very brilliant idea. Our institute was not to train teachers, but to train the trainers of teachers. So when we teach people to become trainers of teachers, these trainers of teachers will be able to train a number of teachers, 10, 20, and if our class is made up of 50, just imagine how quickly the whole thing is dissipated. I look forward to have a similar approach. If we make a crash program to such people, and we do not only train them to be, but to train them to be able to even to train others. And we need to make them proficient in actually applying therapy which is based on our own culture, on our own religion. A person who has a social phobia after the coronavirus and is afraid to come near to people, what can we do to him? What harm is happening to you when you refuse a person who comes and stretches his hand for you to salute him and you refuse, you are afraid? What will happen? Of course, there are some certain social habits which will have to be adapted because they are already serious, even without coronavirus. Just look at these Gulf Arabs. When they come to salute each other, they salute each other with their noses. Their noses touch each other, and they are breathing into each other's noses. This is a very serious thing. You are actually breathing all sorts of germs directly into his lungs. But shaking hands, embracing, this is, without it, life would become really drab, would become really intolerable. So we need to do it. Are we going to do it by gradually, by behavior therapy? Yes, it is possible. Group, yes, it is possible. If we come to talk to the group, and then the group is influenced by what we say. Now, I would like you, everyone, to shake the hands of the other. He was avoiding it, but now they all shake hands together with each other. And then they begin to, we go on into some other aspects of the phobia. This is very, I think we can come up with a lot of very interesting new kinds of therapies. We need to make an institute or a center for Islamic cognitive behavior therapy. already the very first institute, very first center for Islamic psychotherapy and counseling was instituted, established in the Sudan, in the University of Nilain. And I am honored, as I said before, I am honored that it is named Malik Badri Center for Islamic Psychotherapy and Counseling. We need to see something like this, to see a center and institute. But this should be attached to a university. One university in the Islamic world should adopt this and should find a way whereby teachers, lecturers who are Islamically oriented, alhamdulillah, now we are having these people. We are having an institutes, the Association of Muslim Psychologists is growing, is developing. We Habib, Dr. Professor Habib Shizin is one of the people leading in it. Professor Dr. Bagus, Dr. in Indonesia. Indonesians are doing very good work in this field. We need to come up with new techniques that fit our culture. One of the great institutes, the great associations, which is coming up very rapidly now, is the Association of Islamic Psychology, which is actually the work in this association. It is registered in the United States, and the person who is in charge of it is the people who are actually doing the work in it are two Muslim reverts to Islam. One of them is Professor Skinner. This Professor Rashid Skinner converted to Islam young, and he became now a professor. He's an Englishman, and he is doing very good work. In Cambridge, he is having giving special training to psychologists in Islamic psychology. Doing very, very well indeed. The other one, his name is Dr. Abdullah Rothman. Abdullah Rothman is originally, he is Jewish, who converted to Islam very young again. And now he is working in the Emirates. He's doing very, very good work. These are the two leading people. They forced me to become the president of this association, and I told them I'm getting old. I already got rid of the Association of Muslim Psychologists. I asked somebody else to become the president, and now you are going to put me. They said, no, we just want your name, and we'll do the work. And this, they are doing the work very well. In Chicago, they had their main conference, and we had a very successful conference in our university in Turkey, headed by these two people. Now, I wonder now, I look forward to one university to establish this institute quickly. And this institute, in this institute, we very quickly train graduates and even psychologists who want to learn about Islamic psychology, to train them very quickly to be able to work with people who are psychological victims of Corona. More or less, this is what I wanted to say to you. But we can inshallah discuss more as time goes on. Yes, I think that before I finish this, I must say it is not only the psychologists, but in general, the mental health workers, the counselors, those people who are in social psychiatry and social clinical psychology, and those people who are in education, they should be also take part in such behavior. I remember I was asked after the tsunami in Indonesia. I followed and given suggestions to the very same thing, because people who were having this problem were psychiatric casualties were too many. Look how many people, hundreds of people or thousands who died in Indonesia from the tsunami. There is no time now for one-to-one relationship. So I advise this form of group therapy, and to bring them. People in that area of Indonesia are Islam is very important in their lives. So the idea is we bring them together, and then people will begin to make an sheet. They will all work on it, and then they speak about about everyone speaks about the people he lost, and then they think it is the Allah has already destined this to happen. They would gradually accept. This was, I think, the successful approach there can be really copied in our own corona victims. So may Allah bless you. I will shorten my speech, and I will ask you to complete whatever weaknesses I have in my talk. I see among the people who are here, of course, I'm honored that that Jamil is the one who is organizing this, and I can see also Brother Rahmatullah here, Professor Kamal.
Oh, Kamal, yes.
Yeah.
Where are you?
In the middle.
Oh, mashallah, mashallah. I can only see your cap.
Yes.
And bit of that. May Allah bless you. May Allah bless you all. I really miss you all. I miss you. I miss Malaysia, and I think if UIA takes this kind of institute or center, it will really succeed. Not only this, but it can be really this center can actually gradually, just as happened in the Sudan, the three of us, me and Professor Skinner and Dr. Abdullah, we came together and we put a full curriculum for the training of psychologists in Islamic psychology. Alhamdulillah, now Islamic psychology is becoming something, universities are competing in becoming, in offering Islamic psychology. I have been, Alhamdulillah, offered a lifetime award by the University of Southern California. Of Southern California. This university gave me a very large trophy on Islamic psychology. They have an Islamic institute, Islamic center within the university in this field. Now it is unbelievable. I do remember my very first lecture on Islam and psychology in Jordan, in the University of Jordan. I was head of Department of Psychology. The barrage of criticism that came. What, you bring Islam into science? What is this? Psychology is a science just like physics and chemistry. Do you talk about Fasik physics or kafir chemistry? Why are you talking about psychology being atheistic or being now it is the Muslims were against. Now I can see it is becoming Indonesia as the first country that gave a professor of Islamic psychology. It was given to Dr. Mubarak, Professor Mubarak. This is a big revolution because with the cross-cultural psychology becoming more known and more popular, Westerners and Eastern are beginning to appreciate that different cultures, different religions should have different kinds of psychology that can be of help to them. So indeed, we look forward to have this institute, inshallah. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Wish to welcome Nasri Professor Kamal and other scholars in this 99 people coming to this. Alhamdulillah, your view on the effect of COVID-19 on the social aspect. So there are many things. The agoraphobia is one aspect of it. Maybe that will lead to what you call an economics reason also. People will not go for shopping, Dr. Malik, because agoraphobia, the fear of the crowd. So
Yes.
e-shopping and so on. Yeah. So your suggestion on the cognitive behavior therapy, CBT, is becoming popular, and as you said, you don't need professors or you don't need with PhD to lead to practice the CBT. Maybe we can give more people, can train more people on the Islamic psychologists. So IUM, perhaps Professor Kamal, Tansri Kamal is the advisor to the director. May suggest on this. We hope that, and we hope that we congratulate you also for the Malik Badri Institute for Islamic Psychotherapy, which was established in Sudan. We hope this will be progressing over there in Sudan. So I would want to comment more. I would like to invite all of you to have some questions. If you want, you can unmute first and before you ask question. Okay, I welcome all of you.
Besides Tansri Kamal, there are Professor Dr. Halim Osman, also a psychologist. So we have lots of psychologists in the group right now. Baharum Abu Bakar also psychologist. So open, Datuk.
Welcome the questions. Please unmute first. Because this one, the administrator put mute to everybody. So you have to unmute now.
Yes, Pak Habib, I think want to ask question.
Yes, Pak Habib. Okay.
Assalamualaikum, Professor Malik Badri.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Hayakumullah. Hayakumullah. It's indeed a great pleasure to see you again in Zoom. To me, that in this current situation, distressed situation because of the lockdown, is the poor people, especially who live in the densely populated area, they're most victimized, and especially the elderly people. So we need specialists on this area. And since this virus is although the spread, so I think we need to work closely with the association, like we have the International Association of Muslim Psychologists, where you were the founder. And we have also in Indonesia the API, Association of Psychology Islam Indonesia. And within Muhammadiyah, they have at least 16 universities. They have an association for the psychologists. And since those people live in the urban, because the urban people are mostly victimized by this virus. So we have to work in the future very closely with the urban planners, with the economists, developmental economists to plan for the situation of this distress. And also even in terms of the architecture, we need the new architecture which give the what you call the space for relaxation, space for social what you call social networking and so on and so forth. What do you think, Professor? Please kindly enlighten us.
This is a very broad question, brother Professor Habib, and the suggestions that one can give, the way it can be implemented, is something which is to be done actually by governments. It is more essential than it is more. It is possible. It can be done, but not really by psychologists or a group of small people. This is something which is vast, is national, and even international. What you are talking here about people, crowded people who are, this is the same thing in our own country. It's not only Indonesia. Indonesia is extreme in the number of people living in a small area. I know I have been in one place in Indonesia, and somebody told me, this place you are standing on is the most crowded place in the world, where people are packed up together. Now, but still in Sudan, there is such a problem. In Egypt, what can we say in Pakistan? So it is really an issue which is larger than me. And here we should go into from psychology to politics, to good governance, to people, the kind of, we should be able to elect, we should be able to bring to power the people who can do this, who are not too selfish only to accumulate money for their own self and their families. People who really feel be guided by what Umar ibn al-Khattab said. Umar ibn al-Khattab said, I feel if a goat in Baghdad is walking and falls down, I'm afraid Allah may ask me, why didn't you make the road flat and good for the goat to go on? Just imagine that, his own feeling. So here we are. I think we really, this is my dear Habib, it is really larger than us. The problem is larger than us. What we can do is to show maybe public health, those working in public health, those who go into the to tell people what to do, how to avoid that, is to be, we can do it by giving them courses in psychology, how to change the behavior of people in the best possible manner. This we can do it in the field of social psychology, cross-cultural psychology. We can do things by which they can be more efficient in their work, in changing the behavior of people. It is not the crowding by itself, but it is the feeling of the habits that people have developed, which are make such an epidemic more dangerous.
Thank you,
We
Professor.
have also some questions on WhatsApp groups here from Hajjah Muhammad. How do we call a person who thinks to have COVID-19 that has led him to a panic attack? Or how can it be treated?
A person who?
How do we call a person who thinks to have COVID-19 that has led him to a panic attack? And how it can be treated?
Yes. Care for a person who?
From Hajjah Muhammad.
Suffering from corona. He himself is suffering from coronavirus.
He's asking question.
Yes. Yes. What is the question again? I'm sorry, but I.
Suffering.
The question, how do we call person who thinks to have COVID-19 that has led him to a panic attack, and how can it be treated?
Yeah, I think that this is, again, it is a difficult question to me, because those people who try to help people who can develop corona, who already developed the virus attack, it is again the phobia is central. People are afraid to come near to them. Of course, it is they are right in doing so, but the issue is after the person has already gotten out of the disease, after he has his body, his immunity has already helped him to survive. Again, these people would need a special kind of support. It is just imagine a person who has been coughing blood, who have been one person who had this coronavirus and who survived. It tells me I really asked Allah for death because of the pains I'm tolerating. He told me your headache, the high fever, I'm coughing blood, and I cannot move my arms to take a handkerchief or a tissue paper to wipe the blood from my mouth. And he says, this is a condition, you cannot imagine the difficulty of this, of the person who has gone through this. And then this form of equipment which is used with the breathing. He said, it is not like, don't think it is like what you see in cinemas or television, where the person, they put a form of plastic container which brings out oxygen to his nose. No, this is a tube which is pushed through your trachea, through your air pipe, until it goes down where the lungs are separated, and it is terribly painful. And some people, it will have to be done under anesthesia. In other cases, when it is done, it is really painful. And when it is taken, you are cured and they take it out, you have already wounds inside your trachea. It's a painful business. Now, what do you, yeah, in the one who asked me the question, what do you expect? What can one do in such a case? Doctors are dying today, many in the country, in many places, doctors and nurses are dying just because of trying to care for such people. We don't know what really to do, really. It is something new. It reminds me of the hadith of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. ما عمت الفاحشة في قوم قط إلا أصابهم الطاعون والأوجاع التي لم تكن في أسلافهم الذين مضوا. People, when they go astray, and when particularly in the hadith, the Prophet referred particularly to sexual disorders and to sins related to this aspect. ما عمت الفاحشة. You know, fahisha is yes, is zunub related, sins related to sexual relations. When people they do it, and then the Prophet said they do it openly. Not only they do it secretly, but when they do it openly, فاستعلنوا بها, they make it public, then Allah will punish them with new epidemics. Allah says, new epidemics that were not known to their forefathers. This is now we are seeing a new epidemic, and indeed I think there are a lot of lessons to be learned from this coronavirus. I think this is what I can say.
Any other questions?
Yes.
Dato', may I read a question from Brother Wazir from Guyana? From Malik Badri,
Yes.
there's a brother from Guyana, chairman of board governors of Guyana Islamic Institute. He asked, he suggests we need to start the pattern of UNESCO as soon as possible.
To start?
It has to be done on the to start. This has to be done. Distant learning. Can Malaysia or Sudan or Turkey can take on the challenge to this?
Yes, yes, Mr. Wazir.
His suggestion.
We have been sending emails to each other, Brother Wazir, and yes, and I think that now we are all accustomed to distant learning because we are all doing it now. We are giving our lectures from our homes. Now I think the world has come to appreciate the open university system, which was started very early on in England, and it became now popular. We need to do distant learning. That is what I do agree. And this can be done by such an institute to do this, and televised lectures can be sent to them. But we need to have people who train. It is not enough to listen to a lecture. It is not enough to see a video about Islamic psychology, but you need to actually see cases and train people practically. Train them. It's not easy, just like teaching. You see, in teaching, teacher training, You teach the new teacher about motivation, about doing this. Don't go on lecturing and just try to let the activity in the classroom. All of this he knows, he can read it. You can give him a test and he writes well and he passes the test. But when you take him for the first time to stand in front of a class to teach, you will be surprised. He will just give a straight lecture. All the material he has studied about activity in the classroom, about motivation, evaporate. Then the professor who is teaching him will come and tell him, this is not the right way, you should do so and so and so. The next class you do, make a plan according to so and so. Then by time he's trained. The same thing we have to do it here with our psychotherapists. It's not enough to read a textbook. And at times reading a textbook in psychology might lead the person to become less able to improve his ways with his own countrymen and in his own culture. He will be alienated. So indeed, I do agree with you, Wazir. We need to have distant learning. We need to have an institute in which people can even travel to countries like yours and to give talks there and to train people. Yes, we do need this. But
we can give the talk from here. So, Professor Rahmatullah, anything to respond?
pardon?
Yeah, Assalamualaikum.
Waalaikum assalam wa rahmatullah.
Yeah, very happy to see you, Prof. Malik.
MashaAllah.
Yeah,
yes.
And all the others. Actually, it's unfortunate we are seeing each other in this kind of situation. But Alhamdulillah, we look positively. I think, Prof. Malik, you earlier on in your talk, I think you suggested about, for us to start something here. I think it is rightly because we have a number of psychologists that have been trained from UIA, but at the moment they are, sort of like dispersed within this our country itself. We have a number who are actually very prolific now. Also, like we have, I think one Professor Firdaus, our ex-student, Prof. I think you taught her also many years ago, and then she's a professor now in UPM, cognitive behavior therapist. I think maybe the what you call the IIIT can do this. Maybe because I guess in our Malaysia, sometimes the institutions are sort of like working on their own rather than working together. So maybe through IIIT, we can set up a group of Muslim psychologists to do what you suggested. What has been done in Sudan and even in the US. I think we can take it up now, and we have our Professor Shukran is already the dean of the Kuliah IRK in UIA, and I think if this thing it should be able to work it out. I think maybe as what you said lah, Prof Kamal is the advisor. Maybe he can support a little bit, and then inshallah I think things can work towards that way. Because Islamic psychotherapy is actually what you call is an ironically that is flourishing in the Western world rather than in the Islamic world, isn't it? So because it's very irony, people in the West are beginning to accept Islamic psychotherapy, whereas we are actually still behind. So maybe the reason because we are working sporadically, rather than group. But Indonesia have done quite a good job actually. Indonesia has worked very well. They are, because they have also the numbers for Malaysia, we don't have the numbers. But I think if we, pool together the resources, we can do. What do you think, Prof. Malik? You can, say something about it?
Yes, I'm very happy really to see you in such good health, alhamdulillah, vibrant as usual. Only your beard is getting very white, but you are the very same person I met in 1991, alhamdulillah. Yes, I think you are quite correct, and I feel I want to take only this point of that the West is beginning to accept there are universities in the United States, in Cambridge, in England, who are teaching Islamic psychology. Whereas in some countries, there are still people who say, no, we should not bring religion into psychology. Up to now, I have felt this in 1976 when I went to Indianapolis, invited by the Association of Muslim Psychologists, Muslim Social Scientists, to give a talk, and then I gave this talk, Muslim Psychologists in the Lizard's Hall in Indianapolis. Many of the people who listened, particularly the Americans, they were very impressed, and they came and talked to me. Yes, you are right. Why do you want your people, why do they want to copy us? Why do they want just to follow us? It is true. Then when I came back, I was a professor in the University of Riyadh. And when I came back to Riyadh, the dean of our faculty, Dr. Nafi, was himself a psychologist. So he told me, please, I want you to translate your talk into Arabic and give it publicly. So I did so. And all the psychologists, about 12 or 13 in the department, they all came together with people from outside and students. The whole thing was packed. And I gave it in Arabic. The same talk that I gave in the United States, I repeated the talk in Arabic. Now look what has happened. Most of the psychologists were unhappy because the talk is called Muslim Psychologists in the Lizard's Hall. علماء النفس المسلمين في جحر الضب. I use the Lizard's Hall from the hadith of the Prophet. You will follow the ways of those before you, the Christians and the Jews. Even if they get themselves into a Lizard's Hole, you will follow them. So I use this in my title. A number of these lecturers, one of them stood up, I do remember him very well, Egyptian, and he said to me, he said to the public, this Malik is not talking about psychology, he's talking about something different, this is not psychology. And he attacked me severely. Then I had to reply in a very harsh manner. The funny thing is that the students were happy. And in the next morning, when I went to my office, they were not talking to me, except one of them. One of them who got his PhD from the United States. He was open-minded. He came to me and said, Malik, do not be surprised by the way our colleagues are treating you now, because you attacked Freud. If you take away Freud, they don't know what to teach. In fact, they are getting their salaries from Freud. And then they were very angry when the students came to the room, and they were happy, and they one of them asked me, sir, how many lizards do we have in this faculty? They were very angry indeed. So here you are. Now we are seeing in Cambridge, we are seeing and then many universities here in the Islamic world will refuse to give a course on Islamic psychology, will refuse to bring Islam into psychology. Still, we are having, it's a funny thing. This happens not only in psychology, but in very other aspects. They get the system from the West, and then they cling to it. The West itself changes, but they keep clinging. Look at some of the curricula in medicine and in other areas in our Islamic world. Still, people are following the very same system which they got in the early 30s and 40s of last century. They will not change it because it somehow deals with the way we have been brought up. Since we were young, we have been brought up that we should be completely mentally submissive to the words of the teacher, to the word of the government, to the word of the people who know according to us. I think that this is a big issue, and I look forward generally to the new generation. Now we have a new generation which I never thought I would live to see. When I hear some of them speaking in the internet on Islam and on social sciences and so, I really wonder. I feel quite optimistic about the future of Islam in the world. Alhamdulillah. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Professor Malik. We can open to a few more questions because the time is coming up to 4 o'clock. Can I ask Brother Muhammad Mafiza, the Vice Chancellor of Kampala International Islamic University in Uganda? Professor Muhammad Mafiza.
Naam, assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu. Marhaba. Thank you so much, Professor Malik, and those who have contributed. It's really a great pleasure that we meet and talk. The pandemic definitely is going to affect the way we will be living, but inshallah things will get better. But as people who are in educational institutions, in Dawah, this challenge has brought everybody to their knees, actually. And so, as a university, we do have an established applied psychology department with a very good lab, where we are now planning to develop programs and also collaborations to work together. That's number one. Number two, I think what is very critical now in the Muslim world, and has always been, is how we access data. And so we have established a very big network with some collaborators in the Netherlands and also Philips Foundation. We actually got this collaboration through our research efforts. And so I think IIIT, as a very, mashallah, well-established institution with people with very good intentions and focus, we need to have a plan on how we can actually share correct data. The confusion that is taking place in the world at the moment is rotating about fake information, and this is contributing significantly on mental health and the social well-being of people. When you come back to Africa, we are distributing food now. Our government is distributing food to people after the lockdown. People who have been used to earning however small a living it was, but they've been making their own money. They've been moving freely. Now they are sort of like we would normally call them internally displaced people. You are in your own home and you can't move outside. So these are real challenges. And when it comes to the Ummah, to the community members, you'll find that those challenges are definitely, they have a different dimension. So those were my humble contributions, and I really appreciate this, mashallah, this meeting. And we ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to reward our speakers and also the effort that you put in. Jazakallah khairan.
Thank you very much, Professor.
Thank you very, very much,
Yeah.
Mr. Vice Chancellor. I am very impressed with my visit to Kampala. I came in the year 2000, invited by Dr. Kajimo, Majid Kajimo,
Yes,
the
Habib
head
Majid
of
Kajimo.
of the Islamic Medical Association of Uganda. And I have seen the Muslims there. It's really wonderful. We're really wonderful. I like the country, and I wished if at that time I could have visited your Islamic university, but it was not really possible for me. Are you back in Kampala now? Do you have a center in Kampala?
Yeah, actually, I served as a vice rector for 11 years at the Islamic University in Uganda, and visited Malaysia many times for different activities. And we are grateful to different Malaysian universities that trained so many of our staff at PhD level. And then in 2015, I relocated to the biggest private university in Uganda called Kampala International University. The founding members are Muslim brothers, although it is open to all. And so through IIIT with the brother Slach and others, Umar Kasule and others, we've been doing some efforts in helping to nurture the youth to ensure that they are focused. But in the meantime, Islamic University in Uganda has a branch in Kampala with a very new medical school. Actually, their first cycle of medical doctors they are just now doing internship, and that was the last baby project I did in the university to launch the medical school.
Thank you very much indeed. Thank
we
you.
have Brother Sa'ia is asking question about how is the experience in Turkey, because we have some brothers from Turkey. So Brother Sahin is there. Yeah. So he's asking the experience, your experience in Turkey regarding to this.
Yes. About in Turkey.
Your experience.
Yes. There are a number of students from Southeast Asia in this university in which I'm working, and I will, in fact, two of them were I was about to meet them because I have taken permission to leave Turkey and come to Malaysia with my wife and daughter, and because there was an arranged flight, and I was looking forward to meeting, because all the Malaysians in Turkey, they all wanted to come back to Malaysia. It is unfortunate that at the very last moment, the aeroplane was cancelled because the Turkish Airlines preferred to take medical equipment to Singapore in the plane, to make it like a cargo plane rather than to take passengers. So indeed, I look forward to meet these two students. My experience in Turkey, I think it is very unique experience. I am quite impressed by the Turkish people and by my stay there. of course, as maybe I told some of you, I did not choose to go to Turkey. I was here in UIA holding the chair of Ibn Khaldun. And after the third year, I decided to go back to Sudan and stay there, never to go out again. So all my books were there, and I was preparing to leave. But then this Turkish man came into my room in UIA, and he told me, "You go with me now to my university." I said to him, "I cannot go with you. I can give you my card so that we can contact each other." He threw away the card. He took it. He threw. "I don't want your card. I want you." But I said to him, "But I have to go to Sudan. I have my own daughter. She's studying in a university, in our university in Sudan, and I will not let her to go there alone. I will have to be with her." He said, "I take your daughter in my university to finish." Then I said to him, "But I also have a book I'm working on now for 5 years. I cannot." Okay, you just give us 1 day in the university and takes the other 6 days for your book. Then I said, but then he looked, he saw my wife, Fatima. She was in, she happened to be in the, yes. So I just want to finish this, dear.
She's in the room. Maybe we can.
So I had to accept. Who is this woman? This is my wife. She's an associate professor here. I take her in my university to serve you. I give you a flat in the university. There was no way for me to get away from him. So I traveled. Now here I find people who are really very gentle, particularly with the elderly people. And I see here, I made this comparison very well. I never went to a place where there is a queue, where people will not force me. They will stop and force me to go at the top of the queue for eating, for various things. I said to them, I remember very well, I saw Professor Kamal Hassan standing in a queue for the ATM when the ATM was in a place which was became now a restaurant. And then Kamal was at the end, and the queue is long. I said, Kamal, this is not, you are the director of this university. You have a lot of work to do. Please go and don't wait for the queue. As usual, Professor Kamal, no. Let me stay in the queue. I want to be in the queue. So I think, but nobody in the queue, in the students, came to take him and move him. This will not happen in Turkey. They will take you. They will hold your arm and will take you to the front line. They are very with this, and with animals, with cats in particular. Just imagine now, because the university is closed, they have made a special budget given to the guards in the main gate to buy and feed the cats in the university. It is really a different kind of culture. But they will also, they are open. They will say what they feel. If they like you, they will say so. If they don't like you, they will say so. At times, this is really useful.
Okay, thank you.
Counseling in Turkey, and treatment it is flourishing. It is flourishing, and there is a form of an undeclared war between the seculars and the Islamically oriented group. in terms of counseling, in terms of psychotherapy, in terms of the social sciences in general. The good thing is that the young generations are quite Islamic in their approach, mostly. And I think that in general, they are open to new ideas, and but they are free to do many things which we are not accustomed to as lecturers. However, the issue of counseling and psychotherapy, I am not very active in it because they don't talk English. They are very nationalistic in their approach. Just imagine all the mosques in Malaysia have flags of I was about to meet them because I have taken a permission to leave.
Any interruption? Prof. Fauzan.
Yes,
Assalamualaikum.
Prof. Wassalam, yes, Prof.
What is this?
Yeah, Datuk. Oh, Malik Badri is silent now. Hello.
Prof. Fauzan.
Yes.
Prof. Malik, please unmute. Yo.
Yeah. Bersyarat, Prof. Malik, please unmute. Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Prof. Malik, go ahead.
Yes.
We have two more questions. We are almost 4:15 now.
Yes.
Are we going to entertain two more questions?
Okay.
Yes. Welcome.
Yeah, go ahead.
One from Sister Farhana, the other one from Amin Kamal. Sister Farhana, would you like to speak? Farhana? Assalamualaikum, Prof. I would like to ask.
Waalaikumsalam wa rahmatullah.
I would like to ask, during the lockdown situation, most of the people are passing their times on social medias. It seems like an addiction. Even family members are maintaining mental distance besides social distancing. What is your opinion regarding this kind of mental isolation? Another question from, or you want to answer the one first, or take two at one time?
No, what is the other question? Yes.
The other questions. Wait.
I can ask this if you.
Okay, you can ask question. Yeah.
Okay. Assalamualaikum, Prof. Malik. My name is Amin Kamal. So my question is in two parts. First, what is your view on the hierarchy of men? Is that the first is his spiritual self, the soul, then his mind, then his animal or biological self. In other words, if mind is over matter, then spirit is over the mind. Would you agree with this hierarchy? And if you do agree with that hierarchy, I would like to know what sort of fundamental religious or spiritual practices that can be approached by individual Muslims who do not have any Islamic psychotherapy background, that they can practice by themselves during quarantine in order to reinforce or fortify their minds by themselves, which this could be the first line of defense for the mind for the individual Muslims. So your recommendations, your comments, or your suggestions on these practices would be much appreciated. Thank you, Prof.
Okay, this is the last two questions.
Yes.
I think I can on the video. Good to see your face.
Sure.
Yes. I think that I can start with the second question.
Oh, you are there.
Yes.
You mean by hierarchy? You mean the spiritual hierarchies?
Yes, the soul and the spirit. So if we say mind, our mind is over matter, and that's usually how people say it. So there must be the faculty of the spirit, of the soul, must have a higher impact on the mind, which is the topic that we're in today. So if that is true, and we believe that the Islamic principles are holistic, it is touching all aspects at one time. So for those who don't have Islamic psychotherapy background, what are just the fundamental practices that they can do at home during this quarantine period to reinforce their minds?
Yes. Now, your talk about the hierarchies reminds me of the way the Sufis speak about the spiritual development and the hierarchy that the people can follow. And in this sense, I think there is a lot of sense in what they say. We are actually governed to a great extent. Modern psychology, modern psychiatry, modern social sciences speak about three things that formulate the individual: the physical, the physiological, the psychological, and the socio-cultural. They only keep to these three. But we believe that also there is an important dimension, the spiritual dimension. And it is the interaction of the spiritual with the psychological and the physical, even the physical, that actually shapes the individual. In this sense, I would like to say, to agree with the idea of the importance of a leader, of a role model. And in this sense, as some of the Sufis say, unless you have a sheikh, then your sheikh is shaitan. Now, I'm not going to this, but what I want to say that indeed there is a great benefit in having a role model. Call it sheikh, call it counselor, call it whatever you like, but he is a person whom you take as your ideal. And in this sense, many people would say that how can I take a human being as my ideal in everything? Indeed, this is not, it is true that there are some people who can become role models for many. The Quran speaks, وَلَن تَجِدَ لَهُ وَلِيًّا مُرْشِدًا. Those people who have gone astray do not have a wali, a director, murshida, who directs him in the right way. I think it is not really very easy for a person a person can do it himself to a certain degree, but to be able to accelerate in this hierarchy, you need a role model. I explain it as follows. For example, many people say, yeah, there is no need for a sheikh, I can do this. Yes, you can do it yourself. If you want to continue like this, if you want to live with your BA degree or with your secondary school certificate, it's okay. It's up to you. But if you want to go high, if you want to go to get a higher degree, you need the supervisor. You need someone who has gone through this whole issue, who has known it, and who is able to guide you step by step to improve, to become scholarly. You don't need a guide, you don't need a role model, you don't need it, you can do things, okay, go ahead, but you will be like someone who graduated from the secondary school or from the university, just with the first degree. But if you want to get a PhD, you will have to get a role model. You have to get a supervisor. I feel that we need to, the role of the Muslim psychologist is very important in being not only a therapist, but a role model as much as possible. The fact that there are many things vicariously learned by the counselee, the person who comes for counseling, the way the counselor behaves, the way the counselor look at the world, all of this is taken by the one needing the counseling unconsciously. He will absorb it by not openly saying this counselor is my role model, but actually is becoming his role model without himself even knowing it or feeling it. So indeed, I do not think that going up the hierarchy can be done without a good role model. And this is the job of the good Muslim counselor or psychotherapist.
Thank you, Prophet Malik. I appreciate
Thank
it.
you.
Jazakallah khair.
Thank you very much, Prof. So I think we are coming to an end of the session. We have already taken almost 2 hours of Malik's time. I think Dr. Fatima is waiting for you.
Yes, she is.
Thank you very much.
I have a problem now with hearing when the talking is fast. I cannot quickly grasp it.
Yeah, we hope to see you more often. And we have many other questions. Again, there's one Turkey, Reza Sahid, and all the others. I think you can ask direct to Professor Malik through your WhatsApps or email to him.
Inshallah. Welcome.
Thank you very much. We benefited a lot from your 2 hours, almost 2 hours session. This is very new. We hope that people will keep up to their new way of life here, inshallah. And
I'm honored. I'm honored that too. It's really a great honor for me to have you as the organizer of this session. Thank you very much to all of you, and may Allah bless you all, and have a good Ramadan and good breakfast and good open houses in the after the Eid. MashaAllah, MashaAllah.
Alhamdulillah, Jazakallah.
Salam from Professor Halim to you. He just left. Professor Halim Osman.
Jazakallah khair, Prof. Malik Badri and Professor Dato' Jamil Osman. Thank you for others and participants for join us. And Alhamdulillah, today we have the maximum 100 participants. That's one not including the live Facebook's 23. So we have more than 123 at time. So congratulations to Prof. Malik Badri and others. And inshallah, we will normally this is an IIIT intellectual discourse online series number 7. We're going to do number 8, 9, 10, and so on. Normally we'll do it on Thursday, 2:30, but special with Prof. Malik Badri, we do it on Friday. So please join us the next time, and I would like to close with Tasbih Kafarah and Surah Al-Asr. Subhanakallah wa bihamdika. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Salam hormat, salam sejahtera. Sekali lagi kita bersiaran di dalam Cendol Pak Ayah. Hari ini kita akan bersiaran sekali lagi. Kita akan berbincang, kita berdiskusi dalam isu-isu yang telah kita sediakan. Untuk tuan-tuan saudara-saudara yang berada di rumah, kita ucapkan semoga semuanya sihat sejahtera, semoga ceria, berasa bersama-sama dengan keluarga, dan kita ucapkan selamat berpuasa kepada seluruh umat Islam untuk kita menjalani ibadah puasa supaya semuanya akan terus segar, InsyaAllah, dalam kita melaksanakan tugasan dan juga ibadah kita. Dalam masa yang sama kita mematuhi perintah kawalan pergerakan dalam PKP, di mana hari ini hari yang ke-45. Dan hari yang ke-45 kita berada dalam PKP, di mana kalau daripada segi usia COVID-19 ini, kita telah berusia di Malaysia ini, usianya ada 99 hari ini usianya. Dan untuk PKP kita berada dalam fasa yang keempat pada hari yang ke-45 sekarang keseluruhan. Jadi tuan-tuan saudara-saudara, kita sekali lagi bagi Pak Isu Darul Ihsan, kita ucapkan ribuan terima kasih kepada tuan-tuan saudara-saudara yang setia bersama dengan kita melayari laman web www.tv.edselangor.com untuk kita bersama-sama, untuk kita berbicara bersama dengan tamu yang akan kita kemukakan sebentar lagi. Jadi dan juga yang bersama-sama dalam laman FB page Isu Darul Ihsan, jangan lupa untuk terus like page Isu Darul Ihsan, dan juga boleh juga bersama-sama live dalam YouTube Isu Darul Ihsan, dan jangan lupa sekali lagi untuk sama-sama kita share kita punya laman web kita dalam page kita dan juga YouTube bersama-sama untuk kita teman-teman, saudara-saudara yang bersama-sama dengan tuan-tuan saudara-saudara untuk kita dapat sama-sama berdiskusi dengan kita. Jadi sekali lagi tuan-tuan saudara-saudara, kita harapkan supaya semua keluarga yang berada di rumah, ibu-ibu yang sudah tentunya sekarang ni tengah sibuk berada di dapur untuk menyediakan juadah berbuka puasa, kita ucapkan selamat memasak. Dan juga jangan lupa untuk abang-abang, jangan tengok saja, sama-samalah rangan-rangankan tulang, nak boleh kupas-kupas bawang ke, tolong kemas-kemas ke, itu adalah jauh lebih baik. Jadi kepada anak-anak yang bersama-sama, jangan lupa untuk bantu ibu untuk sama-sama belajar masak sekurang-kurangnya, kalau tidak pun dapat tolong bau rasa masakan yang sedap. Jadi sekali lagi kita ucapkan terima kasih untuk tuan-tuan saudara-saudara yang bersama dengan kita pada hari ini. Sekali lagi saya ingatkan sama-sama untuk kita like dan kita share bersama dengan teman-teman kita. Jadi dan juga hari ini berketepatan pada 1 hari bulan Mei. Hari ini hari Jumaat 1 hari bulan Mei. Jadi kita di warga Isu Darul Ihsan, kita mengucapkan selamat Hari Pekerja kepada semua yang bekerja pada hari, khususnya kepada wira-wira kita, petugas-petugas kita yang berada di Barisan Harapan. Kita ucapkan selamat Hari Pekerja. Juga yang bekerja di rumah, yang work from home, kita juga ucapkan selamat bekerja walaupun mereka mungkin tidak berada di pejabat atau di industri-industri, kita tetap ucapkan selamat bekerja kepada semua. Dan hari ini hari Jumaat, sekali lagi pada minggu yang ke-7 kita berada pada hari Jumaat dalam PKP, 7 minggu tanpa solat Jumaat. Jadi kita harapkan untuk tuan-tuan saudara-saudara, moga Allah Ta'ala memberikan kekuatan kepada kita dan memberikan kemaafan, keampunan kepada kita. Jadi sama-sama kita berdoa kepada Allah SWT dalam bulan puasa yang mulia ini. Jadi sekali lagi tuan-tuan saudara-saudara, semuanya sudah bersedia. Jadi saya ingin tampilkan tetamu kita yang datang daripada Melaka, yang hormat Puan Rosnah Alwai. Assalamualaikum Mbak Ibi, apa khabar?
Waalaikumsalam. Awal bismillah pembuka bicara, FB Live ida sesi di nanti. Orang Tangga Batu sehat-sehat belaka, namun terjejas akibat COVID-19.
Walah mak, ini yang saya nak jelas di saya susah nak ada tetamu daripada Melaka. Mula dengan pantun. Ini studio patut sediakan untuk saya pantun ni. Lain kali bila masuk Melaka je kena pantun. Okey, YB sihat ya YB?
Sihat alhamdulillah.
Anak keluarga semua sihat.
Alhamdulillah semua sihat. Semua di sini, seorang saja di KL yang memang tak boleh balik. Tapi work from home lah, dia tak boleh balik.
Tapi berkomunikasi sebab sekarang ni pelbagai cara untuk kita berkomunikasi. Orang Tangga Batu semua macam mana, Baby?
Itulah. Alhamdulillah sihat, tapi itulah terjejas akibat COVID-19 ni kan, macam-macam lah. Berbagailah kesannya.
Ya. Okey, jadi sekali lagi kepada Yang Berhormat Puan Rosna Alwar yang merupakan Ahli Parlimen Tangga Batu Melaka. Hari ini kita tampilkan bersama-sama kita bagi pihak pengurusan Saudara Ihsan. Kita ucapkan ribuan terima kasih kepada Yang Berhormat kerana sudi menjadi tetamu kita untuk kita sama-sama bersiaran, untuk berdiskusi dan juga berbincang dengan teman-teman kita yang berada di luar di sana sementara menanti juadah buka puasa. Untuk masa berbuka puasa kita bersiaran dulu di FB Live Institute Darul Ihsan. Jadi YB,
terima kasih juga kepada Pak Ya dan tim kerana memberi peluang ini.
Ya, sama-sama YB. Kita difahamkan bila kita tengok dalam siaran studio melihat beberapa hari lepas 24 hari bulan merupakan hari ulang tahun Yang Berhormat. Jadi sebelum kita memulakan bicara-bicara yang lain, bagi pihak studio kita ucapkan selamat menyambut ulang tahun kelahiran kepada Yang Berhormat. Semoga ada ni khususlah untuk YB. Terima kasih YB. Itu silakan.
Terima kasih.
Ini daripada warga Ide dan juga studio. Untuk makluman Yang Berhormat dan juga teman-teman kita yang berada di luar, kita Saudara Ihsan, kita terus bersiaran dalam keadaan kita punya COVID, dalam keadaan kita PKP, tetapi namun Saudara Ihsan, kita bersama bersiaran pada setiap hari, di mana pada hari Isnin Cendol Pak Ya, pada hari Selasa ada Fakta dan Analisa, hari Rabu sekali lagi Cendol Pak Ya, dan hari Jumaat. Pada hari Jumaat jangan lupa untuk santai Ahad. Jadi itu antara jadual kita bersama-sama dengan semua pendengar yang ada di luar, di mana antara tujuan matlamat Saudara Ihsan yang dipengurusikan oleh yang berbahagia Profesor Datuk Siddiq Fadil, yang di mana Yang Amat Berhormat Menteri Besar Selangor sebagai penasihat, kita laksanakan ini untuk mendapatkan analisa dan kita membuatkan respon pencerdasan dan juga pencerahan untuk semua yang ada. Jadi sekali kita ucapkan terima kasih kepada semua yang melayari kita. Jangan lupa untuk like dan juga share kita punya FB Live ini untuk bersama-sama. Jadi tuan-tuan, saudara-saudara, sebelum kita teruskan kepada bicara kita bersama dengan Yang Berhormat Puan Rosnah kita, yang kita datang khas daripada Melaka, walaupun YB juga berada di Tangga Batu, bukan bersama-sama dengan kita secara live ini, sama-sama berada work from daripada rumah, bekerja daripada rumah, kita sama-sama di sini. Jadi terima kasih banyak kepada YB yang bersama-sama kita. Jadi sebelum itu saya akan share dulu berkaitan dengan perkembangan sini dulu, perkembangan COVID kita dulu YB yang telah dikemukakan tadi oleh yang berbahagia Ketua Pengarah Kesihatan, untuk kita sama-sama kita share berkaitan dengan laporan COVID-19 ini. Jadi saya kemukakan dekat sini laporan kita, di mana hari ini merupakan hari yang ke-99, hari yang ke-99 COVID-19 ini, iaitu hari ini 1 Mei, di mana hari yang ke-45 dalam PKP. Kita lihat di sini daripada segi faktanya adalah kes baru ada 69, jadikan keseluruhan kes 6071. Sekarang ni mana di Malaysia ni keseluruhan kes adalah 6071, namun bagaimanapun kes yang dirawat setakat ini ada 1,729, kes sembuh pada hari ini 39, menjadikan kes sembuh keseluruhannya 4,210, kematian 1 kematian. Daripada segi analisa faktanya adalah 69 kes baru, semalam 57 kes, kes sembuh 37, semalam 30 April 84 kes kematian ada 1 orang, semalam 2 kes kematian. Menjadikan kes keseluruhannya, itu dia di Melaka. Di Melaka ini di tempat Yang Berhormat di negeri Melaka, kes keseluruhannya 198 kes sembuh 123, kes positif 71 kes. Itu yang mana daripada itu 41 kes adalah kes dari kes import daripada luar negara, melibatkan luar negara, di mana ini daerah-daerah yang terlibat ini Babi. Melaka Tengah, kes dia keseluruhannya 98, kes yang aktif 8, Jasin kesnya, daerah ini daerah bukan parlimen maknanya 75 kes, yang aktif 18, Alur Gajah 29 kes, kes aktif ada 4, maknanya keseluruhan kes di negeri Melaka 198, yang masih aktif ada 30. Walau bagaimanapun daripada 198 tu 41 kes adalah kes import, maknanya daripada luar, bukan melibatkan ni. Ini sedikit pecahan taburan daripada daerah ataupun kawasan-kawasan mukim di negeri Melaka yang ada, yang datanya telah dikemukakan dalam laporan Kementerian Kesihatan Malaysia dan juga laporan. Dan juga kalau lihat daripada fakta berkaitan dengan PKP DYB, kita lihat bahawa kita terlibat dengan PKP di fasa 1 18 Mac 2020 hingga 31 Mac 2020, fasa 2 1 April 2020 hingga 14 April 2020, fasa 3 15 April 2020 hingga 28 April 2020, fasa 4 29 April 2020 hingga 12 Mei 2020. Kita mengharapkan supaya kita punya COVID ini akan berhenti dan kita akan hidup ataupun kita akan bergerak seperti biasa, walaupun ada pengumuman daripada Yang Amat Berhormat Perdana Menteri tadi berkaitan dengan beberapa industri yang dapat dilaksanakan. Itu sedikit laporan Yang Berhormat untuk kita share sedikit. Jadi kita nak dengar sikit daripada Yang Berhormat, mungkin ada sedikit cerita, ulasan berkaitan dengan ataupun mungkin pandangan sedikit tentang COVID-19 ni, cara pengurusan dan juga apa yang boleh kita lihat bersama, dan juga mungkin ada cerita-cerita berkaitan dengan PKP di kawasan Yang Berhormat. Silakan Yang Berhormat.
Okey. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Terima kasih Pak Yang dan juga tim IDE ya. Jadi PKP ni adalah satu istilah baru apa dia? Lupa dah. Okey, jadi maknanya pengawalan pergerakan ini ya adalah satu perkara yang baru disebabkan oleh COVID-19, iaitu virus yang kita tak pernah jangka ya, virus corona ni satu perkara baru, dan benda yang berlaku ini adalah satu benda yang di luar jangkaan ya. Tapi saya dipahamkan bahawa kalau cerita-ceritakan dia termasuk politik sikit lah ya. Kita pun susah hati juga, kita nak elakkan perkara tu supaya orang boleh mendengar kita semua ni. Jadi sebab perkara ini berlaku bila cuba dikekang, cuba dikesan awal dan dikekang pada masa kerajaan diambil alih ya, kerajaan berpusing lah. Jadi sebab itu kita ada gangguan sikit di situ. Jadi benda-benda ini apabila telah berlaku, maka kita rasa nasib baiklah maknanya kita rasa hebat ni pengarah kita punya ketua pengarah kesihatan kita iaitu Dr. Isham dapat meneruskan apa jalan yang telah dirintis oleh Dr. Zul sebagai Menteri Kesihatan, dan beliau meneruskan tugas itu dengan baik. Jadi PKP ini maknanya bukan sesuatu yang normal ya. Kadang-kadang saya fikir-fikir, saya rasa benda ni macam sebenarnya adalah bentuk perang dunia yang baru. Bagi saya terfikir begitu. Sebab ini adalah yang baru sebab banyak kesan dia. Sudah tentu macam perang ekonomi perang dunia kedua, perang dunia pertama tu kesan dia teruk pada ekonomi, dan ini lagi teruk lagi. Jadi saya rasa ini merupakan satu cara baru ya, dan sebenarnya adalah ujian kepada semua kita punya prinsip dan segalanya yang kita pegang selama inilah ya. Dan di Tangga Batu ni sebab dia di Melaka Tengah, jadi keadaannya alhamdulillah dia Jasin pula yang lebih teruk daripada Melaka Tengah, padahal bandarnya adalah Melaka Tengah. Jadi nampak kawalan tu memanglah ada keingkaran tu biasa ya, maknanya ada manusia ni, dan ada juga yang mana kita punya frontliner polis terpaksa angkut ni yang berbual-bual tengah malam. Dia dah biasa kat kampung kan. Berbual-bual telah diangkut katanya 2-3 truk hari tu. Itulah dia. Jadi itulah perkembangan yang berlaku di Melaka ni.
Okey YB, terima kasih atas ulasan sebentar tadi. Studio dia bagi dia kata tak boleh jadi ni, dia kata YB dah pantun dengan kita pun nak kena balas jawab juga pantunnya, dia kata. Jadi jawapan dia bukan jawapan, maknanya pantun untuk YB, dia kata. Memang senang bermain pantun, kata. Hati bisa jadi gembira. kami ucapkan selamat ulang tahun. Semua YB sihat sejahtera. Okey,
terima kasih, terima kasih.
Okey YB, tadi berkaitan dengan PKP dan juga ni sudah tentulah rakyat terkesan sebab mereka semua berada di rumah, yang bekerja tak boleh bekerja, yang petani tak boleh petani, yang jadi nelayan juga terhad kawalannya. Sudah tentulah rakyat di Tangga Batu terkesan dengan keadaan ini. Mungkin ada program-program ataupun bantuan-bantuan ataupun apa yang dilaksanakan oleh Yang Berhormat Setiausaha Ahli Parlimen bersama dengan Pusat Imajiran ataupun apa yang dilaksanakan di sana.
Okey, yang pertamanya ialah saya meneruskan maknanya bantuan di Tangga Batu tetapi setakat yang kita mampu. Kerana apa? Kerana peruntukan kita telah diberhentikan, ya, kerana kerajaan telah bertukar tangan. Jadi kalau dulu kita ada peruntukan kecemasan tu ada, ya, tapi sekarang tapi kita tidak, walaupun macam tu, ya, kita tidaklah tidak mengambil kisah tentang rakyat, sebab saya masih MP yang sah. Jadi saya kena juga turun, ya. Jadi kita bagi apa yang mampulah. Contohnya saya telah memberikan lebih daripada 300 kit makanan kepada bagi agak sama rata setiap zon. Ada juga MP-MP lain yang sumbang sikit, contohnya macam Kota Melaka, YB Ku dan juga YB Datuk Seri Samsul Iskandar ada juga bantu. Ya, lepas tu kita pun turun macam saya sebab kita barang tu dah ada. Benda tu apa yang ada saya berikan, terutama bantuan kepada frontliners. Jadi kalau di Tangga Batu ni, Klinik Kesihatan Sri Tanjung tu adalah yang in charge untuk kes-kes COVID ni. Jadi kita telah berikan awal hari tu kita telah berikan khemah, kursi, meja, kipas, boot, dan jadi benda tu kita berikan. Dan juga di Klinik Kesihatan Bukit Rambai yang standby kita bagikan sedikit bekalan makanan dan juga kipas, ya. Dan kita juga telah memberikan macam face mask, beli sendirilah bagi kepada bomber, ya. Maknanya mereka kurang, jadi kita pun yalah kita bantu apa yang patut. Dan juga saya telah memberikan 6 mist blower, yang alat penyembur untuk nyah cemar itu, untuk semua orang tu 6, ya, 6 unit kepada pejabat kesihatan negeri lah, ya. Baru ni. Jadi selain itu kita turun tengok apa semua. Saya juga turun dengan YB UTAG, ya, untuk berikan ada juga sayur, ikan, face mask. Ini kadang-kadang adalah terpulang kepada MPKK ada juga, ya, sebab MPKK ni dulu kita ada bagi dia sedikit dana dan dia bagi dana tu dia gunakan untuk ini, bukan untuk keperluan peribadi mereka. Jadi saya rasa terima kasih sangatlah kepada mantan-mantan MPKK, NGO dan jugalah sudah tentulah parti kita daripada peringkat cabang, AMK, wanita yang membantu, yang tidak berhenti membuat kebajikan ini. Mereka ni macam dah budaya kita selama ni, jadi mereka terus turun juga walaupun kekurangan, ya.
Ni ada orang selikan tanya, apa cerita isu cerita bakul makanan tu, Abi? Dia kata, diminta ni, ada ke masih lagi ke isu tu? Dia kata
bakul makanan tu hanya didengar tapi tak dimiliki dan tidak didapati. Tapi sebenarnya apa yang disahkan, setiap MP sepatutnya mendapat 1000 bakul makanan, kit makanan untuk diberikan kepada yang memerlukan lah, ya. Tetapi tak tahulah entah bagaimana benda tu tak sampai di mana ialah adalah, ya, bila pertukaran politik begitulah, ya. Jadi maknanya tak sampai. Tetapi di peringkat Negeri Melaka juga adun-adun menerima 1000 bakul kit makanan, tetapi yang adun pembangkang 100. Jadi yang tu dapatlah, tapi kita ni satu pun tak dapat. Jadi kita buatlah apa yang patut dululah. Tak apa, dia tak dapat tu tak apa, tapi maknanya asalkan sampai kepada golongan.
Mana rakyat adalah, rakyat dapatlah.
Yang tu yang penting. Begitu juga face mask, tak dapat pun, tak nampak pun. Tapi harap orang kampung tu penduduk tu dapatlah, ya.
Okey, itu sedikit sebab ada juga tanya, dia kata apa cerita maksudnya begitulah, maksudnya dia tidak melalui ahli parlimen pembangkang lah, maksud dia begitu. Okey YB, itu sedikit perkembangan dengan PKP bersama dengan COVID yang telah diulas oleh Yang Berhormat ahli parlimen kita Puan Rosnah Alwar yang merupakan ahli parlimen Tangga Batu Melaka. Jadi mungkin ada yang tak kenal, tak tahu tangga batu ni sebenarnya di mana YB? Itu bolehlah sedikit.
Tangga batu bukan tangga kayu. Rumah Melaka, orang Melaka yang tangga-tangga marmar-marmar tu. Itulah sebab dipanggil tangga batu. Dia mengandungi empat don. Empat don. Iaitu yang pertamanya ialah Sungai Udang, lepas tu Pantai Kundo, lepas tu Kelebang, lepas tu di Paya Rumput. Kalau daripada Sungai Udang, daripada Masjid Tanah, kita nak pergi Melaka, lepas hutan simpan. Dia terus jalan jalan lama tu ke pantai, sampai dekat sekolah sebelum sekolah Tangga Batu tu, itu Sungai Udang. Dekat Camp Tentera.
Camp Tentera.
Sekarang YB-nya ialah YB Datuk Idris Harun lah. Okey.
Tapi mana itu parlimennya, parlimen Tangga Batu lah tu.
Parlimen Tangga Batu, tapi Don Sungai Udang adalah dalam Parlimen Tangga Batu. Okey. Yang seterusnya adalah Pantai Kundo, daripada Pantai Puteri, Pantai Rombang, pantai apa lagi yang tengok nak bulan tu kan? Pantai Rombang nama dia kan? Okey. Jadi ke situ masuk ke Tanjung Keling sampai sebelum Lereh. Itu adalah Don Pantai Kundo. Hari tu penyalarasnya ialah Encik Johari lah daripada Amanah. Sekarang ni YB-nya ialah YB Azman lah. Ya, ini isu besar kawasan tu sebab laut tu kan. Hakisan pantai yang besar tu. Lepas tu kita terus pergi ke Kelebang, daripada Lereh sampailah kita terus ke Batang 3, pergi lalu Coconut Shade. Sebelum
yang viral tu, yang viral tu.
Satu lagi yang viral depan dia sikit, sempadan juga tu, iaitu kuih keria antarabangsa.
Keria Gulung Melaka tu YB
okey. And then dia masuk Pulau Gadung, pecah sana masuk Ceng, sampailah sempadan Rembia, itu adalah Paya Rumput, Tesco Ceng Gerubung, Stadium Hang Jebat semua tu, itu semua. Jadi itu kawasan Tangga Batu. Kalau hari tu pengundi dia je ada lebih daripada 86,000 lah. Sekarang dengan 18 ke atas ni lagi banyak lah akan bertambah kan.
Maknanya daripada sempadan Masjid Tanah sampai ke sempadan Melaka betul lah. Maknanya kawasan parlimen ni dia punya tu.
Kesidang. Kalau donnya Kesidang.
Okey, itu antaranya. Maknanya untuk yang tidak berapa nak memahami, di mana sebenarnya Tangga Batu, namanya Tangga Batu. Dekat tu kawasan pantai, Melaka daripada Masjid Tanah tu, juga ada kawasan Camp Tentera, yang saya ingat semua orang tahu Camp Sungai Udang sebenarnya itulah kawasan
Kerendak Camp semua tu. Tapi surprisingly, bila saya jadi MP situ baru saya tahu, sebab saya duduk Masjid Tanah sebenarnya, Masjid Tanah. Sebenarnya di Tangga Batu kawasan penanaman padi adalah terbesar di zon selatan. Itu uniknya Tangga Batu. Dia ada sawah, ada pantai, memang cantik. Memang cantik lah.
Okey, terima kasih YB atas penjelasan. Mana kawasan pelancongan memang baik. Okey, sebelum kita beralih kepada soalan utama kita dalam tajuk kita, sebenarnya tajuk utama kita pada hari ini kita nak bincang dengan yang berhormat adalah berkaitan dengan norma-norma baru rakyat. Tetapi dia ada soalan yang sebelum nak bawa ni, ramai yang minta, dia kata ini YB ni kerja biasa lah, politik dan sebagainya. Tapi nak tahu juga, dia kata YB ni, dia kata zaman-zaman cerita kanak-kanak masa cerita pasal puasa-puasa ni, ada ke cerita yang menarik je YB? Kalau boleh adalah cerita yang tak boleh lupa pasal berkaitan dengan puasa-puasa ni YB.
Aduh, hai. Yang ni kita macam orang biasa lah, orang kampung, orang susah kan. Kalau berpuasa.
Kampung mana tu YB? Kampung mana?
Kampung Pulau Tek orang panggil. Dia kampung pulau tapi ada Tek. Sebab bila kita bercakap, kita akan tanya, kau nak pergi ke mana Tek? Macam tu, kau nak pergi ke mana Tek? Dia ada Tek ujung dia. Sebab tu dia panggil Pulau Tek. Orang kampung pulau. Itulah dia. Jadi bila bulan puasa macam kita dulu kan, kita kalau tengok dalam, siapa ingat ni macam air batu tu di cover dengan abuk gergaji kan, abuk kayu kan. Itu zaman tu merasalah kalau dapat minum air sirap ubur selasih memang sedap. Budak-budak sekarang dia tengok air selasih dia katanya telur katak. Macam tu lah, kita dulu yang tu lah yang paling sedap. Kalau dapat buat boyat. Kalau Pak Yah tahu apa boyat?
Tak tahu, tu dah tanya apa tu boyat tu.
Dia macam cendol juga, tetapi dia buat daripada tepung sagu. Jadi lepas tu dia gunting besar. Orang Sarawak panggil abuyat dia, tapi lain sikit lah. Kita minum dengan santan dan juga air batu. Memang sedap lah itu.
Sekarang ni ada lagi tak sekarang? Minum-minuman tu?
Ada. Kat kampung saya ada satu kedai mengembalikan nostalgia tu. Ada. Tapi kadang-kadang, yalah dalam masa ni tak tahulah buka ke tidak tu. Kan? Yang jualnya Cik Kalim rasanya.
Okey, mungkin sekarang ni utamanya peniaga-peniaga kita juga terjejah dalam keadaan. Okey, ada juga nak tanya. Yang tak boleh lupa, menu yang tak boleh lupa untuk juadah puasa ni apa, YB?
Lah, asam pedas memang lah orang Melaka.
Allah.
Kalau
buka puasa pun asam pedas.
Itu dengan nasi tu macam wajib dari segi undang-undang berbuka kan. Tapi macam orang tempat lain dia makan kuih dulu ke apa benda, tapi orang Melaka ni rasanya dia nak nasi dulu. Lepas tu kuih tu mesti ada lah kan. Kalau pengat-pengat tu macam-macam pengat lah. Pengat pisang ke, pengat apa, bubur cacah, pengat keledek apa semua kan. Yang tu memang utamalah nasi lah dengan pelbagai lauk. Tapi sekarang dah modern, delivery ni banyak lah apa ni, ayam spicy cheese lah, ini lah apa semua kan.
Tapi keria gula Melaka tak ni. Di Melaka tu jauh. Jauh.
Tapi dekat Menjadi Tanah ada satu gerai buat kat situ kan. Tapi sebab yang tu viral, tapi dia bulan puasa ni saya tak nampak sebab dia tak buka lah kan. Dia banyak ni, ada juga yang delivery lah. Saya tak boleh sangat sebab kita ni memang dah berdarah manis. Jadi dikurang-kurangkan yang itu.
Okey YB, terima kasih banyak. Itu sekarang ni saya nak masuk sebenarnya bagi penonton ni, kita akan bersama dengan YB terus. Dalam ni kita nak masuk tentang soalan utama kita. Perbincangan utama kita adalah berkaitan dengan norma baru dalam COVID-19 ini. Sudah tentulah kita akan mewujudkan satu nama dikatakan norma baru rakyat. Dalam norma baru rakyat ini sebenarnya banyak terkesan bila mana dalam COVID-19 ini ada perintah kawalan pergerakan. Dalam perintah kawalan pergerakan ini rakyat terpaksa ataupun dipaksa atau dalam keadaan apa untuk mewujudkan ataupun satu kebiasaan baru katanya ada sebut istilahnya norma baru, new norm, norma baru, kebiasaan baru, ada beberapa tu dalam wawancara disebut tentang resam baru pun ada, tapi tak apalah, itu antara norma baru yang biasanya sekarang ni tengah kita alami. Pertamanya tentang dia kata duduk di rumah, stay at home, bekerja dari rumah, ada dia kata belajar secara maya. Ini semua benda-benda yang dulu kita malas nak buat tetapi kali ini terpaksa. Yang paling utamanya adalah tentang kebersihan diri. Dulu malas nak cuci tangan, sekarang hari-hari cuci tangan. Dulu malas nak mandi, hari-hari mandi. Mungkin gitu juga. Yang paling lebih sekali ni, yang orang akan terasa adalah disebut tentang penjarakan sosial. Terkejut ni, alamak. Salam tak boleh, salam kena begini, kena senyum. Kalau dulu kalau orang Melaka ni bukan setakat salam je, dia kata tepuk tampar semua nanti boleh. Ni ada. Kemudian daripada sudut ekonomi lagi, niaga tak boleh, terpaksa gunakan sekarang ni niaga secara online. Tapi yang paling bagus sekali yang anak-anak suka dan orang rumah suka, dia kata bapak ni duduk kat rumah, suami duduk kat rumah. Tak boleh jalan-jalan. Boleh cerita YB sikit ulasan daripada semua perkara-perkara tentang norma baru dalam COVID-19 ni, kesan daripada PKP. Silakan YB. Okey.
Jadi saya lebih melihat kepada pengajaran. Apa benda kita boleh belajar dengan perkara ini, segala norma-norma baru ni. Jangan kat norma baru cukup. Makcik Kia dah ada. Jadi kat norma baru jangan ada. Jangan. Norma-norma baru tu ada. Okey. So apa pengajaran yang kita boleh dapat daripada COVID-19 ni, pandemik ni? Yang pertamanya, segalanya mungkin berlaku. Kemungkinan tu kita tak tahu. Benda ni boleh berlaku. Lepas tu yang keduanya saya rasa expect the unexpected. Kita kena jangkakan benda-benda yang kita tak pernah terfikir sebelum ni. Dan yang ketiga, sebenarnya kalau kita terpaksa kita boleh buat. Dulu kita tak boleh duduk rumah. Sekarang boleh pula. Boleh pula.
Lagi-lagi ni politik YB
Yang tu lah tu, kan. Kalau
ha.
dulu tak pernah nampak, tak pernah masak pun, jarang masak. Sekarang ni macam-macam resepi cuba. Ya, maknanya kita kalau terpaksa kita boleh lakukan. Seterusnya kesabaran dan toleransi. Ini sangat penting, ya. Toleransi macam katakanlah kita nak pergi shopping kena beratur. Ya, alamak, sampai kalau saya pergi kat Masjid Tanah, pergi family store tu, sampai belakang bangunan punya panjangnya dia punya apa. Jadi maknanya kita kena atur, kena disiplin. Kita kena tahu bila orang tak ada, kalau kita perlukan segera. Ya, lepas tu bila kita keluar tu kita kena disiplin. Jangan main tengok beli, kita kena ada list. Ya, dia kena ada list supaya kita disiplin dan cepat. Ya, kita pergi tu kita dah tahu apa kita tuju. And then jangan abai kebersihan. Ya, tapi yang ni agama kita pun dah ajar 1 hari 5 kali kena ambil wudu kan. Jadi ini memang lepas tu saya nampak ekonomi yang berdasarkan teknologi ni ya, dia ada pro dan ada cons. Ya, ada pro dan ada cons ya. Jadi maknanya kalau apa ekonomi yang maknanya yang berdasarkan teknologi, contohnya dulu kita ialah order Lazada, lepas tu Shopee lah, Alibaba, macam-macam lah kan. Jadi benda tu sebenarnya mudah, tapi sekarang ni ya maknanya yang tu sangat hebat, orang tak boleh keluar jadi orang order. Tapi maknanya kat situ kita tengok pula dalam FB dia orang ni mengeluh-ngeluh lah, pekerja-pekerja yang menghantar-hantar ni macam nak pengsan. Ada yang hantar terlampau banyak. Ada yang hantar harum manis daripada Perlis sampai jadi busuk lah sebab lama sangat dalam tu kan. Jadi macam e-hailing, macam mana dia orang terkesan ya. Benda ni bagus teknologi, tetapi dalam keadaan ini macam mana? Ya, maknanya dia punya kesan dalam masa pandemik ni. Lepas tu kita boleh spend lebih masa bersama keluarga ya. Kadang-kadang dulu kita jauh di mata dekat di hati, tapi kadang-kadang bila dah dalam rumah masing-masing pegang telefon, seorang dalam bilik, seorang dekat dapur boleh WhatsApp pula kan. Hebatnya kita ya. Jadi itu kadang-kadang dekat di mata jauh di hati ke apa. Yang tu kita tukar lah ya. And then sebenarnya sedih sebab banyak kes keganasan rumah tangga yang dilaporkan lah ya. Saya pun bila saya tengok, bila kita turun ke bawah ya, kalau macam di kawasan saya banyak juga kes-kes dadah ya. Jadi macam mana kalau yang bapa lah katanya penagih dadah, dia tak boleh keluar mendapatkan bekalan seperti biasa. Contohnya apa dia akan buat kepada keluarga dia ya. Jadi ini saya rasa risaulah benda ni ya. Jadi banyak kes-kes keganasan rumah tangga ni sebenarnya menguji bagaimana kita handle family kita. Contohnya husband. Biasa you keluar kerja ke apa ke, bila you hadap setiap hari isteri tu dalam jangka masa yang lama di rumah ya, adakah kita bekerjasama? Contohnya kalau nak buang sampah ke depan pun nak kena suruh. Ini kalau banyak wanita mesti komen betul Abi kan. Macam tu. Kadang-kadang dia tengok dia orang buat jok-jok kan. Makan tidur. Kenapa nak makan tidur saja? Banyak benda boleh buat. Kita ni tak ada, macam-macam lah kita boleh buat kat rumah ni. 5S lah, inilah, apalah. Bertahun-tahun macam saya lah, banyak barang. Lepas tu bertahun-tahun duk sibuk politik. Masa ni lah boleh buat 5S. Ya, dan proses tu belum selesai. Tapi alhamdulillah dah banyak kita boleh Jadi saya rasa kerjasama, toleransi suami isteri ya. Jadi tapi surprisingly juga banyak juga orang lelaki ni, suami-suami ni pandai masak macam-macam. Google ya. Kalau tengok contohnya saya tertarik juga dengan siapa tu? IG ke yang Hairul Amin tu kan. Senang nak buat kapan balik lah, inilah very simple, but benda ni adalah benda-benda yang positif lah ya. And then satu benda lah yang joke dalam WhatsApp tiba-tiba isteri kata first time dapat cium tangan imam, dia kata. Dulu mana kan sembahyang dekat surau, dekat masjid kan, mana kita pergi cium tangan imam kan. Ini imam dalam rumah, tak kisahlah imam tu baca 3 kol ke apa ke, tak ada masalah ya. Maknanya hubungan rapat tu. Dan mungkin orang lelaki tu rasa bangga dia dapat mengetuai dalam masa ni, dia ngelak yang ni terpaksa, jadi dia dapat, dan isteri dan anak-anak menghargai. Ya?
Alhamdulillah. Jadi itu antaralah daripada pengajaran yang YB nyatakan tadi dalam perkembangan baru dalam pandemik ini. Ya, dalam COVID-19 kita ada satu resam baru ataupun norma baru pada rakyat, antaranya satu, duduk di rumah. Tetapi duduk di rumah bukan YB kata jangan duduk tidur makan. Sekali walaupun tak boleh makan, jangan tidur je, banyak kerja yang boleh dibuat. Lebih lagi dalam bulan puasa ni YB maknanya kita kena banyakkan mungkin baca Quran dan sebagainya. Okey, terima kasih banyak atas ulasan yang telah YB berikan. Ada pula dia kata sekarang ni bila dalam keadaan ni ada norma baru yang ditunjukkan adalah berkaitan, dia kata ada banyak hobi-hobi baru rupanya, dia kata. Ni mungkin YB boleh ulas sedikitlah tentang hobi-hobi. Ada yang nak tanam pokok, ada yang tanam bunga, ada semai itu, semai ini, mungkin belajar. Ada pula yang sekarang ni kalau ni dia sekarang ni macam sekarang kita berinteraksi. Dulu kalau tidak nak kena pergi studio, jumpa dan sebagainya. Sekarang ni ada orang gunakan Skype, ada kan gunakan Zoom, ada gunakan Google Meeting, Google Meet dan sebagainya. Ada norma-norma baru yang begitu, ataupun sekarang maknanya daripada segi kemahiran teknologi juga mendapat tempat. Jadi boleh mungkin YB ada cerita-cerita berkaitan dengan hobi-hobi baru ni YB.
Okey, bagi saya nothing is permanent except change. Sebenarnya tak ada apa yang permanent. Semua benda berubah. Jadi ini norma baru adalah satu benda yang berubah, tapi kita mempunyai pilihan untuk berubah ke arah yang lebih baik ataupun kita nak ikut perasaan sangat. Kan? Kalau kita tahu bahawa segala ini adalah datang dari Yang Maha Esa, kita kena tahu. Kita kena jangan emosi tak tentu arah. Walaupun kesan dia memang kita cakap easily said than done. Mungkin kita pandai cakap ataupun senang cakap, tapi orang yang menghadapinya kesan dia, pada dia teruk, dia tak boleh. Tapi kita kena sini kena kuat, dalam kena kuat. Jadi kita perlu paksa diri untuk belajar banyak-banyak benda. Contohnya kita sekarang tiba-tiba pandai berkebun. Dulu tak tahu pula boleh berkebun, sekarang boleh berkebun. Ini bagus untuk ekonomi yang akan datang, tak payah nak beli-beli sangat kan. Dan satu saya nak cakap, hidup ni macam basikal. Hidup ni macam basikal. Untuk balance kita kena moving on. Kita kena tahu kan, kita kena moving on. Itulah yang kita kata tentang perubahan baru.
Yang kita tengok kalau ni YB Rusna perasan, Datuk Sri Anwar Ibrahim sendiri dia amalkanlah satu budaya baru. Sebab YB kata dia tanam-tanam. Sekarang dia tengok dalam dia punya FB juga, wah tanam pokok itu, tanam pokok ini, menarik juga. Tak pernah pula kita dah tengok. Betul tak Adi?
Selama ni tak pernah tahu kan. Kita tak pernah tahu dia boleh berkebun kan. Bersihkan kawasan. Dulu kita selalu datang rumah dia kat bawah-bawah tu. Kawasan ni kita tak pernah lalu pula. Nampak dalam FB dia, wah ini inilah dia kan. Pengalaman baru ataupun
ada bagusnya rupa-rupanya YB dalam keadaan ni, walaupun orang tak suka. Okey YB, itu sedikit, tapi ada beberapa keadaan sekarang ni menjadikan keresahan sebenarnya. YB sebelum kita ada keresahan kepada khususnya kepada warga kerja lah. Maksudnya yang bekerja keseluruhannya ramai bekerja, bila dalam keadaan ni dia melihat ada masalah tentang kekangan keuangan. Sebab banyak yang tak bekerja, ada yang bekerja harian, ini lebih-lebih lagi yang kerja-kerja sendiri dan sebagainya. Walaupun adalah pengumuman daripada pihak kerajaan berkaitan dengan rangsangan dengan bantuan dan sebagainya, tetapi masih tidak dapat menampung. Lebih-lebih lagi, laporan yang dibuat oleh KWSP berkaitan dengan mereka yang bekerja sendiri, tahap carumannya cukup rendah. Kan? Itu satu. Kemudian mereka yang maknanya paras pendapatan rendah juga, simpanan dalam KWSP juga dalam keadaan tahap yang sedikit. Jadi ini juga merisaukan. Jadi macam mana YB nak melihat keadaan mereka, mampukan mereka untuk meneruskan kehidupan seterusnya kalau mereka dibuang kerja dan sebagainya?
Saya yang ni nak jawab susah hati rasa sebab kita tahu apakah kesan dia tu, dan kalau Bank Negara Malaysia pun menjangkakan tahun ini jumlah kehilangan kerja ialah daripada 100 ke 150,000. Itu jangkaan. Tapi saya rasa benda ni seperti yang dikatakan oleh pakar ekonomi tadi, ianya akan menjangkau lebih daripada itu, ya, dan ramalan ni sangat tidak menentu dan tak ada kepastian, ya. Jadi contohnya banyak sektor-sektor yang terjejas lah, macam kalau Melaka. Melaka pendapatan utama dia ialah pelancongan, perhotelan, pelancongan dan semua industri yang related. Ya, contohnya macam kita ada Sungai Melaka, kita ada apa benda Taming Sari, kita ada apa mini Malaysia, semua tu adalah pelancongan. Negara Malaysia adalah, sebab tu orang dia cakap melawat Melaka seperti melawat Malaysia. Jadi maknanya di Melaka semua ada dan sangat bergantung kepada bidang-bidang pelancongan dan perhotelan juga. Banyak pekerja-pekerja yang hotel, contohnya hotel 5 bintang di Melaka telah mengumumkan akan menutup operasinya. Ini sangat mengejutkan. Dia satu hotel yang besar, bukan kita ni, dan macam kalau di kawasan Tangga Batu ni, di kawasan pantai Kelebang tu, dia panggil ada car boot sale, di mana macam tahun lepas ada bazar terbesar di Malaysia, di Asia in fact, ya. Jadi sangat besar tu, jadi maknanya benda tu dah tak boleh lah. Tak ada lah. Jadi ini semua yang saya susah hati ialah orang Tangga Batu ni banyak yang ramai juga lah yang macam terutamanya saya tengok kaum Melayu yang mana 70% Melayu di Tangga Batu bergantung kepada macam ni lah, kais pagi makan pagi. Berniaga kecil-kecil, berniaga tepi jalan, ya. Jadi ini yang memang akan terkesan. Yang yang kerja-kerja tu kalau kalau hilang yang berpendapatan rendah tu, lepas tu kita ni memanglah dari segi pengetahuan kewangan tu, saya pun cakap itu kekurangan diri saya juga, pengetahuan macam nak menyimpan, nak macam mana nak urus kewangan, macam mana kita ni, memang itu memang kelemahan orang kita, terutamanya golongan yang berpendapatan rendah. Mereka tidak simpan. Banyak jumlah pendapatan itu diberikan kepada makanan. Dan kalau kita tidak dapat kawal, mulalah kita macam contohnya lebih kepada kita tak simpan kita pada benda-benda yang, sebab kita tidak jangka benda ni. Orang kita tidak menjangka jauh benda ni. Jadi ini memang mereka terkesan lah. Dan apa yang saya harapkan, kerajaan, agensi-agensi, NGO juga, pemimpin-pemimpin masyarakat patut lebih, maknanya kita perlu lebih serius membincangkan apakah jalan alternatif yang kita ada. Kalau kita tak dapat nak atasi semua pun, at least mengurangkan kesan kepada masyarakat dari segi ekonomi ni, ya. Jadi jadi kita memang dia punya kesan ini sangat mendalam dan akan mengambil jangka yang panjang. Tapi PM kata dah boleh bisnes lah hari Isnin ni dah boleh buka kan. Tapi dengan kawalan lah, saya harap orang tak macam dah raya belum raya lagi, ya. Jadi maknanya kalau kita nak raya kena ikut penjarakan sosial, kena ikut, ya. Jadi janganlah macam satu hari tu semua orang nak keluar. Kenapa? Sebab dah lama tak keluar. Tak perlu keluar, tak payah. Kalau nak pergi tu pergi, faham ini bisnes memang macam tu lah. Dan kita mesti menang. Kita mesti menang, namun kesan-kesan yang mendalam dan panjang terhadap kehidupan keluarga, masyarakat dan negara ni kita memang rasailah. Dan di sinilah kita akan nampak mereka yang ada experience, mereka yang ada skill. Sebab tu kita cakap pada anak-anak kita ni kena ada added value. Betul kita belajar, kita ada diploma ke, kita ada degree whatever, tetapi kita kena ada added value. Kalau macam kita adalah pekerja yang tidak ada skill, ya, seperti yang benda, jadi benda macam ni, inilah yang akan terkesan teruk. Maknanya adakah orang akan memilih kita dalam hal ini, ya? Adakah kita dapat meneruskan pekerjaan kalau kita tak ada skill, just biasa-biasa saja. Ini, ya, ada punya kesan Pak, ya.
Okey, terima kasih banyak atas ulasan dan juga pandangan serta juga pendapat yang cukup baik. Okey, maybe sebelum kita teruskan beberapa soalan yang lebih panas lagi. Dia dalam bulan puasa pun ada soalan panas juga Datuk Baby. Jadi tunggu soalan panas-panas yang akan kita sampaikan dalam PKP ini. Tapi sebelum itu studio ada bingkisan lagu khas kepada YB. Silakan studio. Kita rehat sebentar, kita ke studio untuk lagu selingan. Silakan. studio. Hello studio, ada ni? Okey, tak apa, mungkin ada masalah yang kita ni, kita teruskan sebentar ni YB, ada okey, kita melihat ada beberapa laporan dalam media ni YB, ni berkaitan dengan alam sekitar, sepanjang PKP ni dikabarkan dalam laporan, saya tengok beberapa tulisan dalam laporan berkaitan dengan, dikata bagus pula dia kata PKP ni. Tengok laporannya mengatakan pertamanya, khususnya kalau di Melaka, Sungai Melaka, dia kata ada videonya sekali, dia nampak, dia kata ikannya, anak-anak ikan yang selama ni kita tak nampak, dia boleh nampak, maknanya keadaan sungai itu jadi bertambah bersih. Kemudian laporan pula daripada Majlis Perbandaran Petaling Jaya, laporan berkaitan dengan dia punya melihat bahawa adanya penurunan daripada sudut pencemaran udara dan sebagainya. YB melihat situasi ni macam mana pula daripada sudut alam sekitar, nampak baik pula kan?
Okey, satu perkara yang kita boleh kaitkan fenomena ini dengan maksud ayat Quran dalam surah Al-Rahman, dan nikmat apakah dari Tuhan kamu yang kamu dustakan, ya. Jadi maknanya selama ini kita ada alam sekitar, kita tak jaga, ya. Kita sekarang ni kata macam kita bernapas, udara ni percuma. Sekarang baru tahu, ya, semua nak kena tutup, sebab kita tidak hargai apa yang ada selama ini, ya. Jadi macam mana saya nampak begitulah, ya. Dan apakah contohnya kata ikan-ikan tu pula dia boleh main-main. Agak dulu pun dia takut banyak hang tuang jebat kat tepi sungai tu, kita tak tahu kan, terlampau ramai orang. Begitu juga saya dapat daripada tengok-tengok daripada WhatsApp, daripada FB, banyak binatang-binatang keluar ke sebab dia tengok sunyi ya, tak ada orang, mana semua orang pergi. Itu pun salah satu. Tapi ini merupakan satu perkembangan yang baik. So kita rasa benda ni kalau selepas ni pun kita janganlah apa-apa pun, ya, kita kawal diri dan memikirkan tentang kelestarian alam, ya, dan faham tentang kesan perubahan iklim, ya. Kita boleh berubahlah, tapi fungsi menambah baik pengawalan pun terhadap majlis tempatan, ya, dan agensi-agensi seperti saliran sungai, ya. Dan benda jabatan-jabatan begini mestilah membuat alam sekitar juga perlu membuat tugas yang pemeriksaan berkala. Jangan dah teruk jadi teruk. Jadi itu yang jadi banjir kilat lah, apalah kan. Kita tidaklah, maknanya ini adalah peluang untuk kita menilai dan menambah baik apa yang ada lah, ya.
Jadi YB rasa kalau selepas daripada PKP dia apakah keadaan alam sekitar kita, maknanya semua orang akan dapat sama-sama jaga sebagaimana dalam keadaan sekarang. YB rasa macam mana?
Kalau kita adalah orang yang mahu berfikir, ya, kita akan buat benda tu. Ada, kita kat sekarang ni ada pejuang-pejuang alam sekitar, ada banyak, tetapi masyarakat yang awam ni, kita sendirilah kadang-kadang saya pun takut nak cakap orang, saya pun sendiri kadang, ya, jadi maknanya kita tidak memikirkan, kita malas lah, contohnya nak pisah-pisahkan kita punya sisa buangan, nak recycle, malas kan. Alah malas lah, gini je guna plastik banyak, tak payah bakul apa benda semua kan. Jadi benda-benda sini kalau kita boleh berfikir sikit, kalau kita boleh menilai dengan baik, ini merupakan salah satu hikmah untuk COVID-19 pandemik, ya.
Ada satu keadaan yang sekarang ni ibu bapa merasakan pembelajaran, atau ada yang merasakan ni dia satu pelajaran baru pada dia, ada yang merasakan ni satu kepayahan kepada dia, sebab dia kata sekarang ni anak-anak duduk di rumah, pening dia kata kan. Tetapi anak-anak ni pula dia tak tahu nak buat apa. Tetapi alhamdulillah Kementerian Pendidikan meruskan juga daripada sudut pembelajaran melalui online. Tetapi okeylah, mana bagi kawasan-kawasan yang ada akses internetnya bagus, alhamdulillah. Tapi masih ada banyak lagi kawasan yang akses internetnya masih cukup rendah. Itu. Yang keduanya, ada pula ibu bapa sebab dia terpaksa gunakan telefon ataupun komputer ataupun komputer riba dan sebagainya, tetapi ramai ibu bapa memang dia ada handphone. Tetapi itulah handphone yang dia ada. Anak dia nak belajar dan melihat ni bagaimana YB melihat apa bagaimana kita punya keadaan.
Okey, kita ni kadang-kadang bila kita istihad polisi dasar besar-besar, tetapi kita tidak tengok ke bawah. Ya, maknanya adakah kita ready apabila nak menjalankan dasar. Tapi maknanya sekarang ni kalau yang ni kita tidak benda ni berlaku secara tiba-tiba. Tetapi kan kita pasal kita dasar apa benda ni tentang kita punya broadband lah apa semua ini kan dah lama punya cerita yang memang tak selesai. Ya, jadi maknanya saya tidaklah mengkritik mana kerajaan yang ada ini saja. Sebelum kita 22 bulan dulu pun kita tak dapat nak buat banyak pun. Ya, jadi maknanya benda ni kita kena bersedia. Sebab apabila benda ni akan berlaku ketidakadilan, yang ada akses, yang tak ada akses akan terjejas pembelajaran dia. Sebab perkara-perkara ini, akses internet lah, gadgetnya, peralatannya kan. Tapi takkan kita nak suruh pula, sekarang ni government kena keluarkan seorang satu handphone ke bagi apa benda sini. Ya. Nah, dulu pernah dibagi netbook tu kan. Jadi benda macam ni akses penindak. Jadi bila kita buat sesuatu, saya rasa kita kena buat dengan jiwa, kita kena bersungguh. Jangan ada, sebab apa bila berlaku benda ni dia tak kata Ulu Tembeling dia berlaku, tak kan. Jadi semua tempat berlaku. Jadi macam ni macam mana akses kepada pelajaran. So ini semua adalah perkara-perkara yang berlaku ini adalah untuk kita, seperti saya kata, kita berfikir, menilai dan menambah baik apa yang ada. Kena fikir cepat sikit, kena fikir laju sikit, ya.
Okey, YB, terima kasih atas ulasan kita telah tadi mengulas pertamanya dengan berkaitan COVID-19 dan juga PKP. Lepas tu kita masuk kepada isu yang kita sebut tentang norma-norma baru. YB telah ulas dan juga daripada sudut pengajaran dan juga pembelajaran yang kita boleh perolehi. Saya minta untuk YB simpulkan sebelum kita beralih kepada topik kita yang akhir. Jadi kalau boleh YB simpulkan daripada diskusi kita daripada norma baru rakyat ini, mampukah maksudnya beberapa langkah-langkah positif seperti duduk di rumah, keadaan kita bersih, jaga alam sekitar, dapat belajar-belajar yang baru ini mampu diteruskan oleh rakyat keseluruhannya. Silakan YB.
Saya anggap perkara yang berlaku ini ialah hasil daripada apa? Ini merupakan macam kita masuk universiti, ini orientasi. Orientasi dan kita menekankan guidelines macam mana kita nak menjalani kehidupan selepas ini. Ya? Jadi kalau kita dapat belajar, kita ambil pengajaran tu dengan betul, dengan serius, maka ianya kita boleh gunakan menjadi sebagai panduan untuk meneruskan kehidupan in order to survive. Ya, itu adalah apa yang saya dapat simpulkan apa yang berlaku.
Okey, terima kasih YB. Mungkin daripada studio ada bingkisan lagu ataupun video yang nak dimainkan ataupun kita teruskan. Silakan kalau ada ni sebelum bingkisan lagu, silakan. Jadi kadang-kadang teknologi kurang. Silakan.
Tekak tak nak nyanyi.
Aku yang masih di perjalanan hidup ini, begitu lama berlenggang di persimpangan dunia, menempuh jalan dan titian
Okey, terima kasih banyak. Itu kita punya artis kita. Sekarang ni artis-artis pun terjejas maybe daripada sudut sumber pendapatan. Tapi ini bukan artis tadi, ini artis daripada Sawas pada Tanjung Karang, dari pusat seni kita.
Macam suara Nash ya.
Wah, dia dengar mesti dia kata ini artis-artis yang kita kenalkan, dia ada satu tempat untuk sama-sama anak-anak ni untuk sama-sama belajar seni. Ada yang belajar main kompang, ada belajar nyanyi, dia daripada pusat seni yang kita tumbuhkan di Sawas pada Tanjung Karang. Terima kasih banyak YB tadi ni untuk itu lagu kita sedikit kepada YB. Maknanya untuk kita ni kita kena setia kerana yang YB sebut tadi tentang kita ingat apa yang Allah SWT uji pada kita dan sebagainya. Okey, kita sikit ni YB, dia di hujung-hujung ni kita ada beberapa soalan yang kita akan tanya dengan YB. Ini kita masuk sesi soalan sensasi dan juga politik. Jadi pada minggu yang lepas bila berlaku PKP, ada isu berkaitan dengan anak yang berhormat Datuk Zaidi, iaitu Nurul Zahid, yang tidak ikut daripada segi peraturan PKP. Jadi kalau dia jadi viral dan juga beberapa pandangan daripada netizen. Kalau YB boleh ulas sikit.
Okey, saya sebenarnya cuba elaklah buat komen-komen politik ni ya, sebab apa tu, yalah kita tak mau jatuhkan kontroversi, tetapi ya, namun sebagai orang yang dikenali ya, kita kadang-kadang family kita pun nak cakap kadang-kadang bapaknya tak tahu pun apa dia buat kan. Tetapi sebagai maknanya family, benda ni perlukan kefahaman lah. Jadi kalau kita adalah orang yang dikenali ya, kita yang menjadi contoh, kita kena pamerkan ya kepada masyarakat, elakkan publicity yang tidak perlu ya. Jadi maknanya kalau dah keluar tu dia diam, dia pergi update dekat Facebook tu, kenapa kan? Macam tu. Ada yang orang ternampak, tetapi ada yang dia update sendiri kan. Dia rasa macam perkara yang dia buat tu macam perkara apa tujuan dia, kita pun tak tahu kan benda macam tu. Jadi macam-macam persepsi. Dan di zaman media sosial ni ya, maklumat begini memang mudah sangatlah dia diperolehi, dan kita jangan pandang ringan kepada peranan yang dimainkan oleh jabatan netizen negara ni. Kadang kita tak komen, yang komen ni dia orang lagi dahsyat. Macam mana kes Ustaz Abid Liu yang jabatan netizen sambil cuci-cuci kilat-kilat kasut dia punya soal kepada Ustaz Abu tu, tak tahan kita mendengarnya. Kalau kita pun dapat soalan tu, kita pun jadi maknanya kita kata saya duk fikir tagline melodi ke, kita elakkan kontroversi, kita tingkatkan potensi. Jadi kita bila kita adalah orang politik dan orang-orang yang bergiat dalam politik atau berkenaan rapat dengan orang politik, kita elakkan perkara-perkara begitu.
Okey, itu soalan sensasi. Sekarang ni kita nak soalan politik. Okey, dalam tulisan Syahbudin Hussein di media menyatakan UMNO peralat Muhyiddin umpama habis madu sepah dibuang. Mereka akan bersama hanya hingga parlimen dibubarkan. Selepas itu mereka akan bye-bye pada PN. Pada PN kata pemimpin UMNO seperti Najib dan Zaid yang ada kes mahkamah hanya ingin menggunakan PN, iaitu kerajaan yang sekarang ini, dan Muhyiddin untuk melepaskan diri dalam pembicaraan di mahkamah. Pemimpin yang lain mereka enjoy dengan kedudukan sebagai menteri, timbalan menteri, peneraju JLC. Apa komen YB? Ini soal politik, betul.
Pasal habis sepah madu dibuang tu, kalau kita ni bertepuk sebelah tangan, tak bunyi Jadi dia nak memadu ke, dia nak buang sepah ke, siapa suruh dia tepuk tangan dulu Okey. Yang keduanya yang tentang dia katakan saya ada satu istilah undang-undang yang saya suka guna benda ni. Nama dia res ipsa loquito. Let the thing speak for itself. Jadi apa langkah-langkah yang buat ni, dia secara circumstantial evidence-nya, maknanya sekali itu itu persepsi orang buat, itu kesimpulan-kesimpulan yang dibuat oleh penganalisa politik lah. Jadi maknanya kat situ kadang-kadang orang cakap kalau tak ada angin masakan pokok bergoyang. Tapi zaman sekarang boleh juga orang letak kipas kat belakang jadi pokok tu goyang-goyang. Itu kita tak tahulah kan. Tapi itulah yang saya boleh simpulkan. Yang pertamanya, maknanya apa yang kita buat tu kita kena bertanggungjawab kepada persepsi yang apa yang kita buat. Orang akan persepsi dan persepsi itu tolong jawab. Dari itu saya kata res ipsa loquito. Let the thing speak for itself. Itulah dia. Right. Itu saja saya punya komen lah. Apa nak baca
politik ni nak elakkan jawapan politik.
Tu makna siapa faham tu dalam tu.
Okey, terima kasih YB atas ulasan. Mungkin ada yang masalah dengan suara saya dan sebagainya sikit-sikit.
Bergema.
Okey, bergema. Saya tak tahu di mana ni dia maklumlah dalam keadaan kita berbicara dalam keadaan ni. Jadi macam-macam. Okey, tak apa. Ya, kita dah sampaikan yang akhir. Kalau dapat YBB sampaikan ucapan kepada barisan hadapan dan juga ucapan selamat berpuasa kepada orang-orang di Tangga Batu dan juga orang seluruh umat Islam. Silakan YBB.
Okey, saya hargai ataupun ucapan saya kepada frontliners, doktor, nurse, kepejabat kesihatan, polis, askar ke, grab apa benda ke, pengantar makanan ke, cleaner, semua ni lah frontliners. Saya ada 2 pantun lah, semua frontliners yang disayangi. Dengar ke?
Okey, dengar.
Dengar? Okey. Kepada frontliners yang disayangi, pengorbanan anda sangat dihargai. Tanpa anda, bagaimanakah kami? Semoga hidup diberkati ilahi. Dr. Hisham yakin dan tenang, bekerja bersungguh bersama pasukannya. Perjuangan ini kita mesti menang demi keselamatan dan kesejahteraan Malaysia tercinta. Jadi untuk terutamanya untuk penduduk Tangga Batu, stay at home, kita jaga kita, kalau perlu keluar ikut PKP ikut peraturan. Dan sebenarnya sekarang ni kita menjalani ibadah puasa di bulan Ramadan yang mulia ni sebagai Muslim yang patuh kepada agama. Kita boleh mematuhi PKP yang punyai peraturan dan sekatan seperti kita berpuasa. Kalau kita berpuasa, kita tak boleh kena kawal diri, tak boleh makan, minum dan perkara-perkara yang membatalkan puasa. Maknanya kita insya-Allah boleh patuhi PKP sebab yang penuh pengajaran bagi yang mahu berfikir. Jadi maknanya kita benda ni bukan asing bagi kita selalu kawal diri. Maknanya daripada dalam bulan puasa sepatutnya kita boleh kawal juga dalam PKP. Semuanya adalah untuk kebaikan dan keselamatan kita semua. Jadi orang Tangga Batu, staff saya, MPKK, YB Gutek dan pasukannya, timnya, dan juga MPKK, mantan-mantan MPKK lah, sekarang tak panggil MPKK kot, JPKK, yang terus berkhidmat saya nampak dengan sukarela, penyelara-penyelara sebelum ni. Jadi saya ucapkan selamat berpuasa. Mudah-mudahan Allah lindungi kita dan diberi kita kekuatan untuk terus menjalani kehidupan. Kepada semua, juga kepada keluarga saya yang tak jumpa lama dah. Ni Moksu. Moksu. Kalau cucu-cucu saudara panggil Neksu.
Neksu. Okey. Jadi sekali lagi kita ucapkan ribuan terima kasih kepada Yang Berhormat Puan Rosnah binti Alwa yang merupakan ahli parlimen Tangga Batu. Saya kira papasan dan juga ulasan dan juga perbincangan yang kita telah kongsi sama, saya rasa banyak memberikan manfaat dan juga pandangan yang cukup bernas kepada kita yang kita boleh gunakan. Jadi kalau siapa yang nak pergi Melaka, kalau yang tempat-tempat mandi, tempat tu banyak di kawasan Yang Berhormat lah kan. Pantai Kelebang. Pantai apa lagi tadi YB tadi?
Kelebang dia dah tambah.
Dia tak ada pantai.
Ada jugalah sikit dia kawasan tu dia, tapi dia ada kabut sail tu lah. Kalau selepas ni, kalau ekonomi pulih balik, dia akan flourish balik lah. Kita ada Pantai Puteri, kita ada Pantai Kundung, kita ada Pantai Rombang.
Okey. Mungkin selepas daripada hari raya nanti bolehlah kita, sebab mungkin dah PKP kita dah berakhir dan boleh terus ke Melaka untuk menghidupkan kawasan-kawasan pelancongan di negeri Melaka tu balik. Okey, sekali lagi kita ucapkan ribuan terima kasih kepada Yang Berhormat Puan Rosna Alwar yang merupakan ahli Parlimen Tangga Batu yang telah bersama-sama kita lebih daripada 1 jam untuk kita berkongsi sama, dan kita ucapkan ribuan terima kasih kepada seluruh kita punya pengikut kita yang setia yang telah bersama melayani kita, dan banyak soalan-soalan yang saya kata ada beberapa soalan yang kita tak dapat nak tanyakan kepada YB, nanti kita tanyakan kemudian, kita share kemudian. Terima kasih sekali lagi juga kepada kita punya tenaga petugas kita sebenarnya YB, daripada seluruh turasan, daripada studi-studi yang bertugas, yang kita bertugas setiap hari, tak pernah kita cuti lagi. Kita tetap seperti bagaimana biasa, kita mesyuarat daripada pagi sampai malam, yang diteraju oleh yang berhormat yang berbahagia Profesor Datuk Dr. Ridwan Osman sebagai Ketua Eksekutif Isu Resa, dan juga tenaga yang kita ucapkan terima kasih kepada YB, dan bagi pihak tenaga pengurusan YB sebagai bagaimana kalau biasa kita di studio, kita ada sijil yang kita sampaikan di studio secara fizikal ni nampak, tapi oleh kerana ini online, kita serahkan sijil penghargaan secara maya kepada Yang Berhormat. Silakan studio. Tu dia sijil.
Satu Pak Ya. Pak Ya satu nak cakap kalau apa-apa yang saya cakap tadi pada yang mengikuti lah ya. Kalau ada apa-apa yang saya cakap yang lebih itu adalah dari Allah, yang kurang itu ada dari saya sendiri. Saya minta maaf kalau ada tersentuh lah. Dan satu golongan yang saya tak sebut dalam saya punya cakap ni, iaitu saya cakap selamat berpuasa juga kepada kawan-kawan saya ya di UITM dulu, dan ex-student saya yang ramai samalah Pak Ya pun kan.
Itu cikgu saya tu UITM. Jadi terima kasih banyak sekali lagi ini syarah daripada UITM yang kalau mungkin ramailah student-student. Jadi ada pantun akhir, kalau tidak saya nak tutup dengan pantun saya ni YB.
Cukuplah Pak Ya lah pula.
Okey, terima kasih banyak. Jadi terima kasih banyak kepada semua, dan jangan lupa untuk kita share dan juga kita boleh kongsi sama. Jadi saya akhiri dengan pantun yang telah disediakan oleh studio. Lapar dahaga di bulan Ramadan, tiada bazar kerana PKP. Rakyat diminta terus bertahan agar COVID terus pi. Tu dia. Lepas tu juadah berbuka rasanya gurih, dimasak oleh YB Tangga Batu. Ini masak apa YB ya? Kami hulurkan ucapan terima kasih atas kelapangan dan perkongsianmu. Terima kasih banyak. Wabillahi taufiq. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Terima kasih semua.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.